Today I'm taking over the New York Giants for the next 10 seasons while attempting our hardest rebuild challenge of Madden 26. Now with the Giants already having the franchise quarterback, running back, and wide receiver in place, I felt like we needed to up the stakes a bit. I have 1 decade to not only win MVP, Offensive and Defensive Player of the Year, I have also got to win 4 Super Bowls. That's a Super Bowl win every 2.5 seasons. But when you combine my expert head coaching ability with an already established group of youngsters, I feel like we might actually stand a chance. Which hopefully I do, because if we fail just one of the challenges, I owe you guys 3 copies of Madden 27. Now this is the most up-to-date New York Giants roster post-free agency with some of their big signings like new tight end Isaiah Likely, new wide receiver Darnell Mooney, and you can't forget old Calvin Austin. On defense, they bring in a new big Mike linebacker and Tremaine Edmonds, also signed Greg Newsome to be their Cordero Flott replacement, which brings the team up to an 82 overall with an 83 offense and 81 defense. Now the problem, because Madden is a dumb game, if we want to start with the most up-to-date roster, we're gonna have to simulate the first season, which means we might not end up with the top 5 pick. Who knows? Okay, 4-3. So I suppose Madden isn't as dumb as what I thought. Now, since we did have to sim a first season, we actually got ourselves some pretty big upgrades, boys. Jackson Darts up to an 84 rated. Kim Scattaboo up to an 87. Malik Neighbors up to an 88. Abdul Carter up to an 84. So I'm telling you guys, you give me an off season or two, and we're gonna be Super Bowl contenders. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and skip straight to the draft so we can get up to date with the real life NFL. I want you guys to keep in mind the draft order is going to be different. I couldn't do anything about it, but the Dolphins with the first pick, apparently going Mendoza. You got Arvell Reese, David Bailey, Ruben Bain, with us taking offensive tackle, which honestly wouldn't be the worst thing in the world because the right side of our offensive line is rather diabolical. But other players that we could potentially target, maybe Sonny Styles to be our long-term Mike linebacker. Caleb Downs wouldn't be terrible either. Definitely go Mansour Delane and have ourselves a lockdown cornerback for a while. There's a lot of options. Okay, so we have some decisions to make, boys, because the first 4 picks did not go as anticipated. God dang it, Harbaugh. I was gonna go with the right tackle since ours is so bad, but like now I don't know if we should go David Bailey. We're fine at the edge rush position. I don't know if Spencer Fano is good enough. Like I'm really kind of disappointed right now. I mean, he's really athletic. His skills look okay, but like I'm wondering if I should go with somebody like Sonny Styles that I know is a high rated player, or maybe just go Caleb Downs. Like Caleb Downs could possibly be the pick in real life. I could go wide receiver here, but I feel like the more impactful player would be Caleb Downs. I guess I could go Jeremiah Love, which Harbaugh might do in real life, but not today. We have Cam Scattaboo. I think Caleb Downs is going to be the selection. Guy has the potential to be a generational safety. Good all-around profile. Got some really good skills here. With this pick of a non-premium position to be worth it, he's got to be probably like top 3 highest rated players in the draft, and I just don't know if he has that much juice. Oh, John's brother really put us in a bad situation here because I was locked in on right tackle, but let's hope to God Caleb Downs turns out to be one of the best safeties in franchise history. Okay, so a lot to take in here. Outside of the fact that for some reason he has a checkerboard afro, but we can easily overlook that as he is the 2nd highest rated player in the entire draft. Also comes in with hidden development as well. I'm excited to see after the draft what his overall is. I'm assuming maybe like a 78, 79. So despite the little hiccup not getting the right tackle that I was really anticipating, good first pick. Let's see if we can keep it rolling here into the 2nd round. Now I do want to say, to make it fair, I'm only going to be personally making the first 3 picks of every draft because you know how good I am at drafting this game. Can hit on some good guards late, some good deep tackles, so I'll leave it up to the rest of the front office for those last few picks on day 3. But here, I honestly didn't anticipate this. So all the wide receivers fell to round 2, dumb game. I mean, you got Omar Cooper, Denzel Boston, Jordan Tyson, Jeremiah Love still here. Again, dumb game. Makai Lemon, Carnell Tate. So, like, we have a chance to pull off a banger of a pick. If it wasn't for Scattaboo, I'd probably go Jeremiah Love here. But I think it's got to be one of the wide receivers. But, like, the only question is which one is the best. I'm thinking maybe Carnell Tate. When he comes in, not the fastest, obviously. We're in a 4.51. His athletic profile doesn't look too good. But, man, he's got a catching, A release, B spec catch, B deep route running. I think the most overall polished receiver in the draft. Is he gonna be the highest rated? I don't know, but he's gotta be good. Jackson Dart picks up a massive weapon. Carnell Tate, Malik Neighbors should terrorize secondaries for years to come. I look happy. Oh, come on, Roger. Give me some good news. Carnell is going to come in as the 11th ranked player in the entire class. How he fell at the 2nd round, I have no idea. Blame it on Madden. But boys, oh, normal dev. Why does does Carnell Tate have normal development? Okay, that really kind of hurts things a little bit, not gonna lie, but he still can turn out to be a good receiver. That just kind of dampens the mood a little bit. Now, we actually don't have a third-round pick this first year for some reason, but let's see if I can possibly hit on a day 2 gem here in the 4th round. Now, doing some scouting, this Charles Deming cornerback actually looks really talented. Disciplined player who rarely gets flagged. I believe that normally means they have a hidden dev. I could be mistaken, but his combine was phenomenal. Had the best vertical, one of the best 3 cones, was top 10 fastest. 4.42 is not too shabby. Also comes in with some pretty decent ratings. I wish I could see that zone, but I think he's going to be decent here. There's not much talent in this draft. It's probably going to be one of the weakest draft classes we see all day, but as long as he's a good value pick, we'll take it as a dub. Again, I'm the happiest man on the planet right now. So is Charles. Come on, please tell me he's half decent. 58 in true value. Got him at 100. Not too shabby. Also comes in with hidden dev. Let's go. So outside of, for whatever reason, Carnell Tate coming in with normal dev, I feel like I did a decent job in my first draft. But as mentioned, I can only control 3 picks every draft. Now up to the CPU, who I, honest to God, don't have way too much faith in. All right, here we have it, boys. Moment of truth. Okay, hold on a freaking second. Caleb Downs, a monster. 79 overall. Carnell Tate, 75 rated normal dev. We can work with that. Not mad at my Charles Demings pick, but my God, dude, the CPU coming out drafting Caleb Elarms or 74 overall in the 5th round. Got a 73 rated defensive tackle in the 6th. I'm not gonna lie. In terms of the value picks, the CPU might have actually done better than me, which has led us into the preseason of what is our first real season as head coach / GM. And the issue I'm seeing is, like, we don't have depth really anywhere. Like, Jackson Dart doesn't even have a backup quarterback. Our center is a 60 rated. And the one player on this team that I know for sure is expendable is Tyler Nubin now. We can let Caleb Downs play strong safety, maybe even move Javon Holland over there. Like, he's good, still young, 25 years old, 77 overall. We probably could get a decent offensive lineman in return if we traded him. Although, for whatever reason, looks like nobody's interested. But before we get way too crazy this season, let's see who's just sitting out there in free agency. I mean, I just signed Nick Chubb just for the vibes. Nick Chubb to be probably our 3rd string running back. It's not a bad addition to a running back room. We do need Jackson Dart, a backup quarterback. Kenny Pickett, Jake Browning, Joe Flacco. You know what? I feel like Joe Flacco is the perfect quarterback to mentor Jackson Dart. So he's going to be the backup. And I guess just for like the memes, we're also going to go out and sign Kenny Pickett to be the 3rd string. Now, who are the best available offensive linemen? We have 72 overall Ethan, 71 rated Nick Gates. I guess it'll be simple to take the higher rated, although that looks just nothing like him whatsoever. How about a right guard? Got Dalton Reisner. I mean, a 74 rated right guard's much better than what we currently have, so why not? So it might not look like too much, but to me at least, this looks a lot better already. Let's see if we can get somebody half decent that can help us long term for Tyler Nubin. I'm sure somebody else that could package in a deal. Ooh, Kayvon Thibodeau only has 1 year left on his contract, and he's probably not going to stick around long term. It might actually be the perfect time to get rid of him. And surely there's a bunch of teams interested in him, so we'll probably be able to get, I believe, at least something half decent in return, which I'm not gonna lie, these offers we're getting are absolutely just garbage. Like, offer me a 69 overall for 2 really good young defensive players. That's offensive. I feel like it's the right tackle position that I'm really after. I wonder, like, there's just no way. I know they just drafted Francis Maligoa, but he's gonna be the backup to Joe All. It's not even like he can play left tackle either because Rashawn Slater's there. That's a dumb pick by Harbaugh. I mean, like, he play guard, that's dumb taking a guard 3 overall, but let's just see what they say. Just curious. Okay, that's not surprising. I just want somebody half decent with a little bit of potential. Josh Connerly from the Washington Commanders, 76 overall with 3 years left on his rookie contract. Got halfway to being accepted, probably. There's probably no chance. Man, these teams are being stingy, and I think I have a pretty good offer over here. Okay, J.C. Latham from my Tennessee Titans is actually relatively close. Now, unfortunately, probably gonna have to add in somebody else, which I don't really feel like we have much we can trade away. Eric Garrour, throw him in there. Declined. What about a couple late picks? Trade was accepted. We officially have ourselves our brand new starting right tackle, which at least for this season will allow me to move Jermaine to guard. So there we go. Not too shabby. So what we're gonna do from here, boys, is simulate the trade deadline and see if at that point there's any moves we want to make, and also see if there's any contracts we need to renegotiate. Not gonna lie, boys, 5-3 is a little bit better than what I anticipated. We might actually have a chance to make the playoffs this season, coming in as the 5 seed currently. I mean, unfortunately, the NFC East looks good this season, which the difference between first and last place just half a game. At the same time, means we very easily could win the division. There's a lot of possibilities, boys, as this could actually end up being a rather successful season in just our first year. Which, I'm not gonna lie, a few sneaky losses, like if we're able to dominate the Colts, destroy the 49ers, I feel like we shouldn't have lost to the Cardinals at home. home. Good response, though, as we went and beat the Seahawks, lost to Caleb Williams and the Bears. Good wins over the Jags and Commanders before dropping a game in Philadelphia by 6. Before we go any further, boys, let's make sure there's no big contracts we need to try to renegotiate. Okay, Deontay Banks is kind of a big one. Keep in mind, we got $60 million to spend, so I need to be smart here. I mean, like, do I give John Runyon a contract extension, or do I just try to draft his replacement? I feel like that would be smarter. He's going to go down every year in overall. Nick Chubb, not going to re-sign him. Honestly, might be it, unless I try to bring back John Michael Smith. I mean, he could be a good backup. So not too much action on this front, aside from the fact that we're going to have to pick up Malik Neighbors' 5th-year option, which is going to cost us $1 trillion. Which also means we have to pay him a lot of money here in a couple seasons. Same thing with J.C. Latham. But in the meantime, boys, let's make sure we lock down Deontay Banks. Be good, maybe cornerback 2 for us for the next 4 or 5 years. Actually, a big cornerback 3 for us. That's fine, though. We'll give him, let's say, a 4-year contract. Hopefully, he accepts, which he does. Which hopefully John here makes it as simple on me. Give you a 3-year contract, about $7 million a season, and he's being a dumb ginger. So I'm actually going to make it to next week, which we beat the Commanders, thank God. I just got to thinking, too. I accidentally simulated past the trade deadline. I don't think I was going to do anything anyway, but I should have tried to see if I would have made some trades. But it's all John's fault, man. Got me stressed out. So hopefully it was all worth it, John. I'll up the money just a little bit, because I really don't want you to be my starter long term. He's going to accept now, after I stressed out, completely just skipped the trade deadline. I didn't realize I'm one under the roster limit, so I need to sign somebody. I'll probably just sign the best player available, maybe Samson. I did trade, I forgot, I did trade away Kayvon Thibodeau. Why is Samson backwards? I feel like that means his awareness rating is rather low. Don't know if I should sign him. We are gonna, though, because we don't have much depth at edge after I traded away Kayvon Thibodeau. So hopefully this season he can learn how to at least line up properly for us. I don't know, man. The team's progressing well. Jackson Dart up to an 86. Kim Scatteraboo, 88. Malik Neighbors, almost a 90. Carnell Tate, apparently having a good year, up from 75 to 80, even though he's just a normal dev player. Defensively, how are we looking? We got Abdul Carter up to an 86. Alarms Orr up to a 75, so not bad from either. Caleb Downs, a superstar, 83 rated. So I feel pretty validated in making that selection. So coming in just past the halfway point of the year as an 86 overall team, what are the odds we can finish the season off strong and in just our first real year make the playoffs? Honestly, at this point, 6-3, I'll be disappointed if we don't. With the MLB season just starting, you got the NBA, NHL playoffs right around the corner, not to mention the NFL schedule release is coming up soon. I thought it'd be the perfect time to tell you guys about my special hookup with today's sponsor, SeatGeek. And not to mention, right now, you can get World Cup tickets on SeatGeek, which is exactly what I plan on doing, because I'm going to the first USA game. And it's not just sports tickets that you can get on SeatGeek, as there's over 70,000 events listed on the app. So comedy shows, music festivals, obviously sports, and more. With over 35 million downloads, SeatGeek is the planet's #1 rated ticketing app. If you guys have been a fan of the channel for a while now, you know my love for SeatGeek is actually genuine. So I actually use the product, and I have the receipts to prove it, as every single sporting event I have attended pre-2020 has been through SeatGeek. And you might be asking, RBT, why are you such a SeatGeek stan? Because not only is SeatGeek so easy to use, they also always got your back, because every ticket on their platform is rated on a scale from 1 to 10, so you know exactly when you're getting a good deal. Make sure when you're looking for tickets on the app to always look for the green dots, as green means good, red means bad. And every ticket on their platform is backed by their buyer guarantee. And of course, I got you guys with a code, as you can use promo code RBT10 to get 10% off your next tickets at SeatGeek. Again, that's 10% off any tickets at SeatGeek when you use my promo code RBT10. 12-5, boys. Pretty proud of it. Really, in our first season, did we win the division? We did by the skins of our shaft. I told you guys, the NFC East, best division in football this season. We all couldn't be the Rams getting the 1 seed with a very easy schedule. But I'm pretty proud, like I said, dude. 12 wins in what was the toughest division in football. Like, even if we don't win the Super Bowl this year, that makes it very exciting for our future, because we're already turning ourselves into Super Bowl contenders. You just give me a few more off seasons, we might even go undefeated. Now, the scary thing, though, is we played the Eagles twice and lost to them twice, and that is exactly who we're playing in the first round. And also, we did get absolutely skull-drugged by the 1 seed Rams, so I do find it highly unlikely that we're going to make it to the Super Bowl this year. I'm just proud we already made the playoffs. Now, who did the good things for us? Our offense, top 10 in the NFL already. Defensively, we were second in the league. Okay, that's actually kind of surprising. I didn't think we were that good. Good year, too, from Jackson Dart. 3,900 yards, 32 tutties, 7 interceptions on the ground. Kim Scatteraboo looking like already already one of the best running backs in Giants history. 1,272 yards, 4.6 yards per carry, 10 tutties. Jackson Dart, 4 tutties himself. Tyrone Tracy as the backup had 4 touchdowns. Now, who was Jackson Dart's number one receiver? It had to be Malik Neighbors, right? Wrong. Carnell Tate screwed that normal development. His rookie season, 1,200 yards, 18 touchdowns, 10 more touchdowns than Malik Neighbors with 20 less catches. Like, surely that won him Rookie of the Year. He's up now to an 83 rated. If he sucks, because if he had hidden Dev, he'd probably be like an 85, 86, but still, good progress. Good season for Isaiah Likely in his first season as a Giant, 635 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 70 catches. And we had the number 2 defense in football, and I want to know how. Jermaine Edmonds led us in tackles with over 100. He had Caleb Downs from the free safety position in second with 103, which is crazy. And as you guys see, Abdul Carter seems to be the closest thing the Giants will ever see to Lawrence Taylor. 22 sacks in his second season of professional football. Excited to see what this guy can get to overall-wise, as he's already up to an 88 in just his second year. There's a good chance he can get to 99. Brian Burns with 13, Dexter Lawrence with 12. I want to see Caleb Downs with 103 tackles. He is up to an 86 overall. So again, another player here that very easily could get to like that 99 rating, which let's see what are the odds. In our first season, we had ourselves an MVP. Not very high. This goes to Joe Burrow. Jackson Dart did come in the top 5 though. So obviously, if we're going to have an MVP today, it's going to more than likely have to be Jackson Dart. Coach of the Year doesn't go to me. I feel like that's a little underwhelming. Now this is where things could get serious. NFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Keenan Allen, by the way, on the Rams. Carnell Tate as a rookie came in 3rd. So there's a chance we get an Offensive Player of the Year sometime soon. Had Jackson Dart come in 8th. Now, this is where we might have completed our first challenge in our first real year. Defensive Player of the Year goes to, oh, that's unfortunate. How did he not win Defensive Player of the Year with 22 sacks? Hold on, I gotta do some research here. Aiden Hutchinson better have had 30 sacks. Yeah, okay, he had 24. That's just annoying. That's just unlucky, boys, because like, if we don't win Defensive Player of the Year with 22 sacks, will we ever win it? Hey, at least we did get ourselves an Offensive Rookie of the Year, though. And somehow Caleb Downs didn't win it on the defensive side of things when he had over 100 tackles from friggin' free safety. So I do feel like we were a little robbed on some very, very important awards that could have completed me some challenges, but hey, it would make up for all of that if we can go out and win the Super Bowl here. Which I'm not gonna lie, don't feel too confident like I said. Maybe 3rd time's a charm. 3rd time we play the Eagles this season. Maybe we can finally beat them. We do get them at home. But hopefully, though, we just don't get first rounded. And oh my God, I'm not gonna lie to you boys, I was totally expecting to be knocked out of the playoffs there. And we won by 6. Super close game. Overtime. Even though we outgained them by 150 yards. I don't care what it took. All I know is we are 1-0 in playoff games. A master class from Jackson Dart. On the ground, Cam Scadaboo going off the big bowling ball. Carnell Tate, the rookie dude, screw that normal development. 2 touchdowns, 136 yards. Literally had triple the amount of yards as Malik Neighbors as we are rolling into the divisional round against the Washington Commanders, who I'm assuming like we had to play twice this season. We beat them the first time, beat them the second time, which scares me because when that happened against the Eagles, we lost the 3rd matchup. So let's see here, boys, if we can beat the Commanders for the 3rd time this season at home to advance into the NFC Conference Championship game. In my first real year as a head coach, we lost. Oh, that's so upsetting, I'm not going to lie. Oh, it's a curse. When you beat a team twice in a season, you lose to them 3rd time you have to play them. And it wasn't even really close either, which makes it very disappointing. 21-6, we lose to the Commanders. Offense couldn't get nothing going at all. Jackson Dart, definitely not as good as what he played against the Eagles. We ran the ball okay, but man, we just couldn't get nothing going, dude. Carnell Tate, probably the worst game of his career so far. As disappointing as this is, with this rather fantastic season, I, at least as a head coach, can be optimistic for the future. And keep in mind, boys, I still haven't had a real full offseason yet, so let me cook this offseason, and there's just no way the Commanders win the Super Bowl. I'm just not going to allow it. Oh, thank God, dude, that would have been embarrassing. But don't be surprised, boys, if this is us next season, which hopefully it is, if we want to stay on track to completing the challenge. Now, the good news, apparently we just have $100 million just sitting around, so hopefully there's some good free agents to spend that on. Now, I do want to see Carnell Tate is up to a superstar. So he jumped straight from normal dev to superstar up to 84. So maybe this next season, Carnell Tate can really start progressing and maybe get up to like a 90 overall. Good progression from JC Latham, dude, up to an 84 rated. Isaiah Likely up into the 80s. Jackson Dart just outside the 90s at 89. Cam Scadaboo, same rating, 89 as well. And defensively, Caleb Downs, after this one season, is an X factor. This fella's a superstar. Abdul Carter with the same rating as Jackson Dart and Cam Scadaboo. So, like, our young studs, man, I'm telling you, they're going to lead us to a Super Bowl sooner rather than later. And what does the latest mock draft has us taking? Because obviously we're going to have ourselves a late pick. Latest mock draft has us selecting a guard. I mean, I guess center or guard couldn't really go wrong there. I was just hoping for something a little bit more exciting. But first things first, let's see if there's any contracts we need to renegotiate. I mean, maybe I re-sign John Runyon since we have the money. If I can sign a better left guard, I'll be happy to do so. But if anything, can be good depth for us next season. Next up, unfortunately, we do have to pick up Malik Neighbors' 5th-year option, which is apparently worth $36 million now. It was $30 million during the season, and I couldn't do it, so that sucks. An extra $6 million, but of course we're locking them down. And J.C. Latham, same thing, gonna be $14 million for his 5th-year option. Weird, apparently in Madden, the 5th-year option is more expensive the higher overall you are. I don't really think that's realistic, but hey, dumb game. Yeah, the rest of these guys, including our 26 overall long snapper, they can walk. Which leaves us with $96 million to spend this offseason, and I hope I get to use it. I just really hope there's some good free agents to help fill some of our holes, which the best, okay, Zay Flowers is an interesting one. I know we already have Malik Neighbors, but like Zay Flowers, Malik Neighbors, and Carnell Tate could make for a really good wide receiver room for at least like the next 5 to 6 years. We'll come back to that though. Brian O'Neill could be good. I guess we do have J.C. Latham, so it'd be kind of redundant. It is a rather underwhelming free agency classes. Typically, you know, your best free agents don't normally make it this far. Now, like Ed Oliver, I feel like would be okay for a season at least. So let's see if we can lock him up. And I'm only allowed to offer 5 free agents per offseason. So keep that in mind. We have that restriction. So our offer is currently tied with the Colts, so I will up it a little bit. Because again, like it doesn't matter if I'm wasting this money and have it to spend for just next season, which now currently we're in the league. Okay, we don't have a will linebacker in the entire roster. So the Marvian Overshown actually wouldn't be too bad of an option. We could take Drew Tranquill again for just like 1 year, but I don't feel like that's the move. I do want a little bit more of a long-term option here, and he could maybe be good for us for another 3 seasons. You're not asking for way too much money, so let's make sure we make it a pretty good offer. Hard to refuse. Okay, I didn't even need to do all that because we're literally his only offer. And it's like outside of that, dude, where do I even put the rest of our money? Like, I don't want to waste our money, but at the same time, I don't feel like the $68 million should just be sitting there. So I think I am going to try to get this money to Zay Flowers, which hopefully doesn't end up screwing us when we have to give Malik Neighbors and Jackson Dart a big contract extension. So maybe I can just lock him down, hopefully on a 3-year deal, which apparently he's not liking that because we're just tied with everybody else, which is rather unfortunate. So let me up the money a little bit. I'd rather do more money in less years. Okay, unfortunately, we're just tied with everybody again, but I don't think I'm going to go any further. Maybe Antonio Johnson. He's young. Some decent depth behind Javon Holland. See if we can bring him in on a little 4-year contract. And I mean, we probably had the best safety room in football. So I think for now, these are going to be my 4 offers. We're just going to submit them through. We ended up landing DeMarvian Overshown and Antonio Johnson. Fortunately, missed out on Ed Oliver and Zay Flowers, but I can still offer one more player. Maybe Trey Tucker, kind of the same build as Zay Flowers. I think it'd be a bit better option than Darius Slayton. Asking for literally like $20 million less a season, so I really don't feel like this would be a bad deal. So maybe go 4 years, $5 million per season, which ties us with everybody else. So do I up the offer a little bit more? Maybe go 5.5 per season, which puts us in the lead. Gonna submit it through and hopefully land our slot receiver, which we do. Nothing spectacular, but some big holes we fill, which leads us into the 2027 NFL Draft. Now, what does the 5th and final mock draft have us going? Dante Moore's going 1, Arch Manning going 2, staying in Texas. God, there's just like so many good players in the top half of this draft, and I really wish it was easier to trade up. Brian Wesco out of Clemson wouldn't be bad, but we just signed Trey Tucker. It's like I really have no idea what to do here. Again, it just all depends on how the board falls here, which the center that I wanted just got taken right before me, so that's rather unfortunate. It's like, what do I do? Like, I don't need Julian Sayin. Brian Wesco, like, I just signed Trey Tucker. Do I draft Brian Wesco and then just trade Trey Tucker away immediately? Do I go ahead and get a guard, Mateo Ugalele, and he can be my long-term Brian Burns replacement? That actually might be where I'm leaning towards right now. I feel like Sammy Brown out of Clemson would probably be the best overall player here, but we just got a good young Mike linebacker in the middle rounds last year thanks to our CPU. So I think I'm going to be relegated to the smart option since we just signed Trey Tucker. I'm going to take Mateo Ugalele. I don't think he's like a big, huge overall or anything, but I feel like it'll be decent enough to develop into a good edge by the time Brian Burns retires, which is going to come in a couple seasons. He'll be ready to step in and hopefully not see a huge dip in production. So Mateo is going to be the selection here, and he's going to come in 28 in true value, got him at 27, got a good hairdo, not a bad pick. Hidden depth too, that's always the worry. So he should be able to develop into a pretty good edge over the next couple seasons and hopefully turn into a double-digit sack guy for us. And what are the odds I can follow that up with a solid pick here again in the 2nd round? Thinking about going defensive tackle here. James Smith, nose tackle, 6'2", 6'3", 300, maybe a little undersized for a nose, but he's the strongest. 37 reps to the bench press. We all know that means he's typically a pretty good overall. Skills look good too. B awareness, I mean, nothing under a B. Maybe not, again, not the sexiest pick in the world, but will be some really good defensive tackle depth, especially since we didn't get to land Ed Oliver, and he's going to come in 10th in true value. So I didn't really expect that. Hidden dev as well, 91 strength, another banger of a pick here. Which, keep in mind, I get one more myself, and then the CPU takes over, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't feel like I'm gonna be able to follow up that pick too well. Think about maybe drafting a developmental tight end to kind of progress behind Isaiah Likely so we don't have to pay him when his contract's up, but like, I don't know if these guys are really good. The only real options I see are Trades Green out of LSU, and I don't even think he's that good. Also got Benjamin Brahmer here out of Penn State. Both the options are scheme fits, and Benjamin's like slap dab in the middle for the combine. His skills actually don't look that good. I might go Trades, and he's probably gonna be a flop, I'm not gonna lie to you. Does say he shows good discipline, so that probably means he does have hidden dev. He's one of the fastest. Okay, his combine is actually kind of nasty. He's an elite athlete, can't really block though. I don't know. I really have no idea what to expect here. I just hope he doesn't suck. Trades is going to come in as it sucks. He sucks. I mean, he does have hidden dev, and he's going to have probably 3 years or so to develop. So hopefully turns into somebody half decent. Was a great athlete, but at the end of the day, doesn't look too good. So with that, fellas, it all comes down to the CPU again. Okay, Mateo's not bad. That defensive tackle was a freaking 76 overall in the second round. Trades Green did kind of suck, but maybe he can get to like 75, 76 overall by the time Isaiah Likely needs to get $1 billion. Got a decent running back in the 4th round, but definitely not as good as a job this year from the CPU compared to year 1. But in the next season, yet again, I think we have ourselves a squad that can compete maybe for a Super Bowl. 87 rated, 87 offense, 88 defense. And only the real weakness of this entire offense is just that interior of that offensive line, which hopefully we can address eventually in either free agency or the draft. The skill guys are great. Hopefully we can see a huge step forward, although it'd be tough, from Carnell Tate. And defensively, same thing, man. Like, really no glaring weakness. So same as last year, gonna simulate this bad boy to the trade deadline, see if we need to be buyers or see if we need to be sellers. Okay, 5-3 is not too bad. I mean, it does have us a game and a half out of first place in the division, but we can easily make up that ground. Offensively, dude, we are killing it. First in the National Football League, and defensively, we suck. But I do feel like the extra game with no bye week up to this point is inflating the offensive numbers and kind of screwing up the defense a little bit. Although, how did we give up 52 points to the Eagles? I mean, we outgained them. Jackson Dart threw 5 touchdowns and a pick. I don't know. It's a weird game, I guess. Oh my god! I mean, Malik is putting up over 200 yards and 4 touchdowns a game. Like, I'm excited to see what his numbers are at the halfway point. Okay, apparently Jackson Dart, number 1 in the National Football League at this point, also already has 18 passing touchdowns on the year and only 4 interceptions, which this very easily could be an MVP type year, which we desperately need. Now, on the ground, Scatterboo, I mean, he's averaging 6.2 yards per carry, which is insane. He's just not getting as many touches as what I thought he'd get, but I still, if he can keep these numbers up, man, he could run for 1,500 yards. And through the air, Malik Neighbors at the halfway point, 972 yards and 10 touchdowns. Still a good year from Carnell Tate. Decent years from Isaiah Likely and the new signing Trey Tucker, but it looks like Malik Neighbors, finally and deservingly, Malik Neighbors is his team's number 1 receiver. Now, why does our defense suck so bad up to this point? It looks like, I mean, we still have Brian Burns put up 6.5 sacks. Abdul Carter definitely not putting up the 20 that he did a year ago, so I don't think we're gonna have ourselves our Defensive Player of the Year award winner this season. But this right here, boys, is never a sight you love to see. I mean, we do have $120 million to dish out, but we have to renegotiate contracts with Javon Holland, Drew Phillips, Isaiah Likely, which I told you guys we possibly just drafted his replacement. Depends on how much money he's asking for. Paulson Adebo, Tyrone Tracy, who I might just go ahead and trade away here, which is a good thing, like why I stopped at the trade deadline. Like, if there's some players here that I don't want to bring back, I might as well trade them while they're on an expiring contract and get something for them in return. Like, first and foremost, Javon Holland, I do want to bring him back, although he has 0 interest. He's not going to ask for too much either, so maybe actually give him a nice little 5-year deal. Would probably keep him here in New York until he retired. So let's just give him this base contract, which apparently he doesn't feel like it's a good fit for some reason. All right, Drew Phillips, he's already 85 overall at the age of 25, so we've definitely got to lock him in for a while. Give him a 5-year deal. He's our number 1 cornerback. Hopefully he accepts off the rip, which he does. Still leaves us with about $100 million to work with. Now, Isaiah Likely, I feel like he's a player I'm probably going to trade away. I was definitely hoping that Trades Green was going to have a little bit longer to progress as a tight end before he takes over, but it might come sooner rather than later. I mean, Isaiah Likely's 27, which means he's going to start to go down in overall after like a season or two. Like, maybe I could sign Theo Johnson for a lot cheaper for maybe like 2 years, then Trey'Dez Green can take over. I don't know. It's going to be tough. Now, Paulson Adebo is another guy that I could potentially trade away here at the deadline and fill a void because we have Charles Demings over there, the young cornerback we drafted that could take his spot. And I have to be smart with my money, so keep that in mind too, because I have some big players we're going to have to lock down long term in the next couple of seasons. Now, Tyrone Tracy is absolutely going to be trade bait this season because, again, he's asking for $5 million a season as a backup running back. We have Kim Scadaboo, who should be here for another 5 years, maybe 6 years. So I feel like as an 84 rated running back, we could bring some half decent in return if we put a package of good players together. Like I said, Tyrone Tracy, Isaiah Likely, Paulson Adebo. I feel like we can get ourselves a long-term starter for those three. Now, Tremaine Edmonds is an interesting one too, guys, because he's 84 rated. He's going to start to go down in overall every season. And he's been good for us, but keep in mind as well, we got that youngster behind him. So it's just like kind of pick your poison type situation, and it might be another player that you just go ahead and trade away and get maybe some good draft picks in return. At the same time, like, I'm trying to win a Super Bowl this year, so it's like balancing trying to win this year while also trying not to lose these players on a free. Darius Slayton, we absolutely could trade away. Theo Johnson is the one that, like, I really do want to try to lock down for another season or so. I don't think I want to go 3 years, but I could potentially go 2. Will he accept that? No, because he has to be complicated. Now, these guys I could care less about. Actually, Jermaine, what do we do with you? If I want to re-sign him, I could do it at the end of the season. But look at this, dude. This season, I'm going to have to accept Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart's 5th-year option, which means when it comes to that season, we're going to have to re-sign both of these guys at the same time. Like, literally, we'll have to give out probably $600 million worth of contracts to these two, which is why I wish in this game they let you negotiate contracts early like they can in real life, but by the time their 5th-year option is up, they'll probably be like mid-90s overall, and they're going to cost $1 trillion. So just problems for the future that we have to keep in mind when trying to give out some of these contract extensions. Like John Runyon, I guess I bring him back for another year just in case we don't get anybody to replace him. Or I probably could have waited, actually, because he would have gone down in overall. Oh well, we all make mistakes sometimes. Now, Tremaine Edmonds is tough. Like, if I'm going to re-sign him, I'm probably going to do it going into the offseason because he's going to go down in overall and it'll be cheaper. So let's go ahead here, boys, at the trade deadline and trade some of these players away on expiring contracts and see if we can get a good package in return, which off the rip is not looking way too promising. Trey Amos isn't bad, but we don't really need cornerback. A little disappointed in the offers, I'm not going to lie. Like, Michael Pittman wouldn't have been bad if this was 2025, but maybe we can go in, manually make a trade myself, and hopefully bring in a banger. Oh, wow. We were actually extremely close here to completely fixing our offensive line problems. Holy crap. Kelvin Banks and Fuaga. Now, unfortunately, we would have to pay him here in the next couple seasons, but at the same time, I feel like it would be worth it. Unfortunately, it does mean we have to probably throw in some draft picks, maybe like a 2029 4th-round selection. A little bit closer. We're probably going to have to throw in a 3rd, though. So let's go with a 2029 3rd-round pick, add it into the deal, and the trade was accepted. 3 players we weren't going to re-sign anyway to the New Orleans Saints for 2 brand new, incredible young offensive linemen. Funny, they're going to have to be playing against their former team this week. Which I told you guys, this offensive line is looking incredible now. Team up to an 89 overall across the board, which in my opinion means we are bona fide Super Bowl contenders. But before the trade deadline's over with, there's still a few players like Darius Slayton I do want to get rid of, maybe just bring in some draft picks. Oh wow, the Pittsburgh Steelers just gave me a 3rd-round pick. So the 3rd-round pick, which had to trade away to lock in that last deal, we got it back for this year. We do need to sign some depth though now. We have Kamani Vidal just sitting there, really talented running back, just a free agent for some reason. You another wide receiver, so why don't we go ahead and bring in Luke McCaffrey? We also do need a little bit of cornerback depth, and I suppose we can bring in Michael Carter here. We also need cornerback depth, and why not go ahead and sign in the youngster Chris Abrams-Drain? Former pretty high draft pick, why not? After just making a big-time trade with him, let's see if we can meet the Saints here this week, and then try to renegotiate some of those contracts in week 10. And it looks like we made the right move, boys. All right, Javon Holland, please, brother, gotta lock you down. 5 years, I'll up the money just a tad. There we go, dude. Javon Holland should be a New York Giant for the rest of his career. Theo Johnson, too, brother. Just 2 years. I'm gonna up it just a little bit extra cash. And okay, so our young tight end at least gonna have a couple years to progress now. And after that, I feel fine letting the rest of these guys go. Nobody I'm too worried about. So with that, we are now still just a game and a half out of 1st place. Hopefully, we again can win the division, have a big, strong finish to the season, and maybe, just maybe, sneak in a 1 seed. Okay, so a lot to take in here. Not a strong finish to the season, not as good as a year ago, but can't be mad at making the playoffs again, 10-win season. I mean, I feel like Giants fans would be ecstatic at making the playoffs back-to-back years, even though we didn't get a first-round bye. But despite all of that, still confident here that we can go on a little Super Bowl run. A little bad little stretch here. Lost by a point to the Commanders, got blown out by the Chargers, lost to the Cowboys. A decent finish, though. Did we finish with the #1 offense? Yes, we did, brother. So a good season from the offense, which doesn't really surprise me. Defense improved a little bit, but we still sucked. Not a bad season from Jackson at all, boys. 4,400 yards, 34 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Cam Scatterboot, 6 yards per carry. I'm telling you guys, this man has the chance to become the greatest running back in Giants history. And that's saying a lot considering they had Saquon Barkley for a while. But these numbers, man, if he'd had more carries, he could have won Offensive Player of the Year, and he still might with his 6.1 yard per carry average. Now, the Malik Neighbors finished the season strong. Oh my God. He might win Offensive Player of the Year. 1,800 yards, 23 touchdowns, hogging almost every touchdown. His other receivers are probably mad. How you put up 1,000 yards from Carnell Tate and only have 3 touchdowns? Trey Tucker into a 4. That's just crazy work, though. God, by the time we have to pay Malik Neighbors, man, he is literally going to cost $500 million. By the time we have to pay him, he's probably going to be a 99 rated and well-deserved. Okay, good second half of the season from our 2 edge rushers. Abdul Carter, 15 sacks. Brian Burns, 14.5. Don't think that's going to be good enough for either of these guys to win Defensive Player of the Year, but give Abdul Carter a few more seasons to progress, and I think he has the potential. I mean, already up to a 91 overall. Now, did Jackson Dart put up good enough numbers to win NFL MVP? It goes to Patrick Mahomes. Gosh dang it. Man, he didn't come in the top 5, which is weird. Oh, we got robbed out of Coach of the Year. How about, though, NFC Offensive Player of the Year? The AFC side of things goes to Denzel Boston, but the NFC goes to Malik Neighbors, which, thank God, completes us our first challenge of the day. If you didn't win with those numbers that he put up, dude, this award was rigged. And also look at Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterboot sneaking in there. It's crazy. Scatterboot with the numbers he put up only came in 10. It just feels like in Madden, this is a receiver award. But how about Defensive Player of the Year? Gonna go to Jalen Walker. We had Abdul Carter come in 3rd, so it's like the 2nd straight season he's came in the top 5, and eventually, like I said, eventually he's gonna win it. Unfortunately, though, no Offensive or Defensive Rookie of the Year this season, unlike last year. But now leads us into the question, can we actually go on a Super Bowl run here? Which the team overall is gonna be way on up there, up to an 89 still, with a 91 defense, so somehow the defense has surpassed the offense. But like outside of the center position, man, this offense is stacked. And the good news is these guys should at least stick around for another season or 2 together. So even if we don't win it all this playoff run, I think we fill a few voids, like maybe the center position, and we could get a freaking 17-0 next year. And moving on to the defense, how we looking? Abdul Carter, like I said, a superstar. I think Brian Burns went down a little bit. Mateo Ugalele, 79 overall. So again, once Brian Burns gets to the point where we can't pay him anymore, which is gonna happen, he should be able to step in quite nicely. Well, look at that deep tackle that we got as well, all the way up to an 81 rated. So by the time Dexter Lawrence retires, this guy should be able to step in. Look at that Caleb Demings guy. He's all the way up to a superstar already. Now, come on now, boys. After all of that yapping, can we please not get first round? Not going to lie, it would be rather embarrassing. Got the win 27-17, and now it is time to get our revenge on the Philadelphia Eagles, who put up 50 points on us earlier this season. I just now noticed too, for the 2nd straight year, they beat us twice in the regular season, but also for the 2nd straight year, can they beat us twice in the regular season, only for us to win our 3rd matchup in the playoffs? Although this game, away from home in Philadelphia, so a little stressful. Now, can we get the upset here and advance into the NFC Conference Championship game for the first time today? Yes, we do, by the skins of our shafts, boys. 28-25 for the 2nd straight year. We take down the Eagles, 3rd time of asking. Oh, we held off a comeback in the 4th quarter and did just enough to come out with the dub. And we outgained them by over 100 yards. Jackson Dart, good performance. How sweet it is. Cam Scatterboot putting up 3 times the rushing yards as Saquon Barkley, the former Giant. Now through the air, Devontae Smith kind of outperformed Malik Neighbors, although it was a great game from him. Look at Theo Johnson. Put our faith in him, gave him a big 2-year contract extension, and he's putting up better numbers than Isaiah Likely. And now, my friends, all we have to do is take down the Detroit Lions, and we have officially made it to our 1st Super Bowl, which at that point won't get much easier, so we have to take on either Lamar Jackson or the Buffalo Bills, which Madden loves those 2 in simulation, which we already played the Lions week 1 of the regular season away from home and beat them by 4. So if we did it once, we can do it again. Unfortunately, last year got knocked out of the playoffs by a team we beat twice in the regular season, so obviously, as you know, that doesn't mean much. But come on, in our 3rd season, can we make it to our 1st Super Bowl? Which We need to, boys. We have to win 4 Super Bowls somehow in, what, the next 7 seasons. It's possible, though, if we get started this season, which we do. Oh, it gets tougher, though, boys. We have to play the freaking Ravens. We demolished the 1-seed Lions. Was never even a question by 21 points. They didn't even get 180 yards of total offense, boys. If Jackson Dart can play like this and limit the turnovers, I'm telling you, I really feel like we can come out of this season Super Bowl champs for the first time. Look at our number 1 and 2 receivers, man. If we can lock them down for the duration of the rebuild, I am telling you, the 4th Super Bowl target is a real possibility. I'm assuming the Ravens don't have Derrick Henry anymore. Lamar Jackson still their 99 rated stud. Got some really good defensive players. Trey Hendrickson's still there. Oh no, Derrick Henry is still a Raven. Oh, that kind of hurts as a Titans fan. This would be me keeping Derrick Henry from his first ever Super Bowl. But screw him, dude. Let's get this dub. We need this, boys. We need this desperately. Safety. That's not good. 9-0. That's not good. Oh, God. 12-0. What's going on with the offense here? Okay, we're making it a ball game, boys. 5-point game. We have taken the lead by a singular point, 3-point game. We have kicked a field goal to win the Super Bowl. Holy crap, was that an emotional roller coaster? Oh, that was big, boys. That was a big dub, because I have no idea how many chances we're going to have here in the Super Bowl. But one way or another, we have got to find a way to win 4. And thank God, in our first time of asking, we get Super Bowl win number 1, even if it was by just a single pubic hair. After winning the Super Bowl in this following week, we should have hopefully got some dev trade increases, which could be huge, which also could cost me a lot of money. Okay, yes, a lot happened here, boys. Jackson Dart up to superstar. Cam Scatterbo up to superstar. Malik Neighbors, well-deserved, up to X Factor. But the problem again, boys, I have to pay all 3 of these guys in the upcoming years. And your boy Tradez Green, all the way up to a 75 rated tight end. So again, guys, by the time Theo Johnson, his contract expires, Tradez should be able to step in and provide some decent depth. And defensively, I think the only difference I see here is maybe Ukulele up to superstar, which is great. Like, I'm wondering, boys, should I, like, go ahead and trade away Brian Burns in the offseason, or maybe next year, but get something huge in return, like maybe a big draft pick, so we can get some young, cheap talent before Brian Burns starts to go down in overall. Which actually, really quick, out of just pure curiosity, I just do want to see what the offers would be for him. Okay. Roma Dunze, Khalil Shakir, and a bunch of picks. Chris Jones, Terry McLaurin. Okay, so if we did want to trade away Brian Burns, we probably get somebody half decent in return. Dude, what happened to Ryan Williams? That's like Ryan Williams if he had a mental breakdown, started smoking crack, and shaved his head. This is definitely an option, but I think we're going to come back to it. Oh, God, a lot to be done here, boys. Abdul Carter's 5th-year option is going to cost me $37 million. Jackson Dart's 5th-year option is going to cost me $69 million. I feel like I shouldn't even do that. I don't even know if this is worth it. I feel like I should just not even accept this and just give him his contract extension in the following year. Like, this is like $69 million is crazy. I probably shouldn't even accepted this either. I just wish they'd let me in Madden go ahead and renegotiate their extensions. That's just stupid. That's too much money. So I'm actually going to take a leap of faith here and wait on Jackson Dart's 5th-year option, because I feel like with a contract extension, I probably could lock him down for cheaper. Now, Tremaine Edmonds, what do we do with you, pal? He's down to an 82 rated. He's asking for $11 million a season. I feel like it's time just to let him walk and let Caleb take over. And again, I'm not going to lose any sleep if I let the rest of these guys walk, which will lead us into free agency where we have $109 million to spend. But again, I have to be smart, boys, because at the same time, I have some big money I'm going to have to give out the next few seasons. So I really don't want to be locking too many guys down to long-term big money deals, which there's not really many guys out there to give long-term big money deals to. Like, Nolan Smith would be nice, but at the same time, I already drafted my Brian Burns replacement. I really wonder if the move here is signing players to 1-year contracts, and if worse comes to worse, we're having a stinky season, maybe just trade them away at the trade deadline next year. Because what I could do is sign Trey Hendrickson here on a 1-year contract, and if he signs, I really shouldn't worry about losing Brian Burns. That would give Mateo Ukulele another season to progress, so I'm going to offer on Trey Hendrickson here. Oh, we can't let him go to the other New York team. We'll up that offer a little bit. I mean, we got the money, why not spend it? All right, so we're in the lead for him. Now, who else? Now, Troy Franklin, he's asking for too much money when we have Malik Neighbors and Carnell Tate that we're going to have to somehow re-sign. Maybe we could sign Devin Bush and he could be like our middle linebacker depth. Hopefully, just accept like a 1-year contract, though. Now, Akeem Aquanu would be nice, but we just really have no spot at all for him. I was really hoping there was a good available center, which there isn't. That's like the one position that we do need to lock down. Hopefully, we can draft one. Maybe we could sign Ryan here to be our potential second option at center if we can't draft a better one. And then maybe trade away John Michael Smith, who's on a long-term contract. So I guess guess we'll go ahead and give him an offer, which is not real surprising to me that nobody else is offering him. Now, I don't think we have a Sam linebacker on the entire team. Like Jeremiah Trotter, we could just go ahead and sign him. It could be a long-term starter there for like 5 years. He's not going to ask for hardly any money whatsoever, so let's see if we can lock him down. Then outside of that, I really don't know what to do. I like Sean Dolak a lot. I just really liked him a lot coming out of Buffalo in college. Maybe he could just be a good depth piece at will linebacker for us. Not asking for too much money. Lock him in for like 5 years. He's from Buffalo, New York guy, so I don't think it's too out of the question that he want to spend the rest of his career here. Now, I feel like if we can just sign maybe 3 out of these 5 guys, it would be considered possibly a B+ offseason free agency. The big one I want for sure is Trey Hendrickson, because we lock him down. There's a lot of possibilities we can do with Brian Burns. So let's evaluate these offers. Okay, and we do land Trey Hendrickson, we do land Ryan, and we do land our long-term Sam linebacker, which is still out there. Devin Bush, Sean Dolak, which if we're going to offer Devin Bush just a 1-year contract, I probably will up the money a little bit more just to make sure we lock him down. But again, I got the money to do so, and that's like a reason why I wish you do contract extensions now, because I could definitely put this $60 million we have just sitting there to use on some early contract extensions. So can we get them both here, boys? We only got Sean Dolak, which is fine. Still got 4 out of 5 targets. Not too bad at all. Which I suppose we're still allowed to make one more offer. I just don't know if anybody's really worth it. Ooh, maybe John Simpson could be our center next year. He'd probably be an 81, 82 rated center, be a higher rated than Ryan. If we don't get him, I'm not going to worry too much about it, which, hey, locked him down. So, boys, a lot of things we need to discuss here before we get to the draft. What do we do with Brian Burns here? 2 years left in his contract. Give him the same exact money as Trey Hendrickson, which he is going to start to go down in overall every season, and we're not going to be able to repay him, which is exactly why I got Mateo Ukulele. And I feel like we could get ourselves a massive offer here. Rome Odunze again, Khalil Shakir. Like, I'm wondering if we just get like a first-round draft pick, or maybe multiple. I mean, like, Jackson Powers Johnson could actually be our long-term starting center. I wonder if they would give me Jackson Powers Johnson in their first-round pick. I mean, Rome Odunze would be nice if we didn't have 15 wide receivers already. So let's see what we need to do, boys. What is the move? What about Zach Frazier here from the Pittsburgh Steelers? Would they be willing to give me Frazier? Oh, I don't think they're going to be able to afford Brian Burns. That is so unfortunate. They have the #1 pick too. Oh, that'd be such a perfect fit, but it's just not going to happen logistically. It's just, I hate it. I hate it at this point in Madden franchise where every team has negative cap space. So I'm not going to lie, with how much money Brian Burns is actually making, I don't know if there's going to be a perfect fit here. Unless maybe the Raiders wanted to give me Tyler Lindenbaum in a first. Tyler Lindenbaum with the #10 overall pick, and I'll be the happiest man on the planet. Trades declined. But again, how about we go back to the guy we were looking at initially, Jackson Powers Johnson. So Jackson Powers Johnson and the 10th overall pick for Brian Burns. Trade is in the yellow. Like, we throw in that 3rd round pick that we had? Would that be enough? No, but it's in the green. I mean, maybe I can just go ahead and get rid of Trey Tucker's contract, send him back to the Raiders. Oh, this is tough, boys. Trade still declined. So what if we just do the boring thing here and don't get a good player in return, and we just get some draft picks? Like, can we get their 1st, 2nd, and 3rd round pick from this season? No. But just the 1st and 2nd? No. Before I even do the trade, though, let me see if there's even players that are worth taking. Okay, latest mock draft, the 10th pick looks like it's going to be a cornerback. Oh, I don't even know if this is a good draft class, boys. So totally against my will, boys. Maybe the move really is to trade for Jackson Powers Johnson, who's already on a contract extension. Get their 2nd and maybe 3rd round pick. Or maybe get our 3rd round pick for next year back. Let's submit this bad boy through, and the trade was officially accepted. He actually played center in college, so maybe it's actually a more natural fit for him. But now, dude, we've got to have the best offensive line in football, which now means I can trade away John Michael Schmitz. Jags need a center, which in a 4-for-2 pick swap, they just gave me a 2nd round pick for next year. Now, I do want to lower you guys' expectation a little bit, because I do feel like this is a rather weak draft class, so don't be surprised if we hit on a few stinkers here. It was like a good quarterback class, but unfortunately we don't need one. God dang, dude, it's a top 5 talent. Oh my, hold on. Do I take this quarterback and trade him in a year or two? He is a top 5 talent just sitting here. I know this sounds stupid, but brother, the amount you can get in return for a stud quarterback is astronomical. I have never seen a top 5 talent quarterback fall all the way to this point. I'm thinking of the future, boys. I mean, maybe we don't even re-sign Jackson Dart at that point. He's got A's all across the board. And in a weak draft class, boys, I'm telling you, that might be worth it. We got some good receivers that I could possibly take, but if you can take a quarterback that you can flip in a year or two for an all-pro caliber player, I feel like this is going to be worth it. This was never in a million years my expectation, but I feel like he's about to be a stud. Surely he can't be a top 5 talent and suck, right? I mean, literally everything looks good. So we're gonna do it. And one of the craziest draft picks of all time, like an Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love-esque pick, we are going to select a quarterback out of nowhere. And as long as he has hidden dev, I am telling you, we are eventually going to get a all-pro caliber player in return for him. He looks good. Is that Kyle Hamilton? Apparently got ourselves a Kyle Hamilton clone. Comes in 5th in true value, hidden dev, which is the big one. I really hope my high IQ play ends up working here. Oh, I totally forgot too, we had the 10th pick in the 2nd round. Gotta be somebody here half decent, right? Hold on a second, boys. I spy myself a really good guard. One of the strongest. That's an A+ pick right there. B awareness, A impact block. Everything's good. In a not so talented draft class, I don't feel too bad taking a guard here with the 10th pick in the 2nd round, because I think he's gonna be good. Evan's gonna come in 13 in true value, laying him at 42. Hidden dev as well. Once again, another banger pick, although that looks absolutely nothing like his profile pick. And also totally forgot to get myself another pick here in the 2nd round, which unfortunately is my last pick of the draft, and it comes down to the CPU's abilities. And I've been sat here for the last 15 minutes, and I feel like this guy is the pick. I know we already have a tight end just sitting there waiting in the wings, but you look at this guy's player notes, look at his combine, and you look at, most importantly, his skills. Everything looks incredible, dude. He looks like a great pass catcher. Looks like an incredible blocker, which is unusual for a tight end in this game. So I know it's not a big position of need, but I feel like this is about to be one of the best picks that we've made so far. At least I look happy about it. Dude, that looks like somebody. Elias Williams comes in 4 in true value. Okay, I didn't expect that. I thought he was going to be good, but I did not expect that. Oh my god. Hidden development 2, 85 speed, 90 jumping. Dude, we might have just drafted one of the best tight ends of all time. Now, again, I told you guys, I think this is a rather weak draft class, so he might really not be that high rated, but still finding the 4th best player in the entire class at the end of the 2nd round, I feel like is a major dub. But now it comes down to the CPU to hopefully finish off a once-in-a-lifetime generational draft class. That's actually insane. Not only did I pull off a generational shift, the CPU actually got some incredible depth in the middle rounds. Decent safety depth, good edge, talented wide receiver, good backup like linebacker, which we did need. So I'm not gonna lie, boys, especially when you consider we got ourselves a really good quarterback. This might be the best draft of the entire day, and I don't think it's close. But it's like, I'm just curious, like right off the rip here. I want to see what we could even get in return. Nothing? Are you dumb? I'm telling you, boys, eventually one day we are going to flip this guy for a 90 overall player, bare minimum. And hey, maybe if he develops enough, he ends up taking over for Jackson Dart. But officially into next year, boys, and I genuinely feel like this team has everything it takes to go back-to-back and win ourselves a 2nd Super Bowl. I'm like, where's the weakness? There are none. We start the season as an 89 overall team with a 91 offense and 87 defense, and I feel like there's a really good chance that we end the season like maybe a 91, 92 rated team. So let's simulate this bad boy to the trade deadline, and honestly at that point, dudes, I wouldn't be shocked if we were undefeated. Okay, so maybe we're not undefeated, but 7-1 would definitely do. And funny enough, our only loss of the season came week 1 to the Lions. We beat last year week 1 of the season, but we have won literally every single game since. Like, what are the odds we don't lose again and finish the season 16-1? For the 2nd year running at the midway point, had the league's #1 offense, and defensively, we're a lot better, top 10. Jackson Dart having an MVP type season, 2,000 yards, 18 tutties, only 2 interceptions, and an amazing completion percentage. That might be one of the highest I've ever seen. On the ground, Kim Scatterby for the 2nd straight year, averaging over 6 yards per carry. I really need Jackson Dart to win MVP, man, so we got to get that challenge crossed off the board. Now, receiving wise, Malik Neighbors, hey, not as good as last year, but still good numbers. Carnell Tate, 500 yards. Trey Tucker with 287. Theo Johnson, not bad. And that young rookie Elias Williams, not getting much playing time, but making the most of it when he does. 2 touchdown grabs and just 6 catches. And dude, he's already up to an 80 overall. Like, I'm wondering, do I just go ahead and make him the starter and trade away Theo Johnson? Now, before we get into anything too crazy here at the trade deadline, I do need to look at these contract renegotiations, and I feel like they're about to be bad. Malik Neighbors, oh god. Jackson Dart, oh god. All Cam Scatterby at the same time too, man. So thankfully it's just those 3, but I feel like that's really going to take up all my money. Oh god, here we go. Malik Neighbors, what do you want? He's asking for $30 million a season. That's great. That's just fantastic. Honestly, if we're locking him down for that long, how about for 6 years? Can I get away with just a little bit less money? And thank the Lord, at least bare minimum, got Malik Neighbors locked down. So that's going to leave us with about $105 million to spend. Now, first, Kim Scatterby shouldn't cost that much since he's a running back. He's not even asking for $10 million a season. Let's keep him for the next 5 years, and hopefully we can just up it just a little bit since he has no interest in staying for some reason, even though he's on the way to being the best running back in Giants history. We'll make the offer, and he accepts, makes it simple on me. Now, my friends, it all comes down to Jackson Dart, which the good news is we do have about $100 million to spend, and he is going to end up asking for about $50 to $60 million per season. But let's see if he'll just accept it off the rip. 7 years, about $443 million. By the time his contract's up, he's going to be costing me $74 million a season. Let's lock it in. Oh, God. Like, why couldn't you have just accepted it, dude? And the scary thing is, if his overall goes up in the next week, he's going to cost even more, unfortunately. Now, Darius Alexander, he's going to walk. Trey Hendrickson, we're not going to re-sign him. So not really too mad at the players that we're going to be losing, which I honestly, since we got some youngsters drafted, I might go ahead and trade away John Simpson here, too. So again, players I'm willing to trade away. John Runyon, for one. John Simpson, and Theo Johnson, so Elias Williams can go ahead and become the starter. I feel like we should be able to get like a half-decent package for this. Like, even a second-round pick would be nice, I feel like. Okay, and we did get offered Chris Bell from the Dolphins in a 5th and 6th round pick. I mean, an 81 receiver isn't bad, but I assume this means the Dolphins are the team willing to give me the best offer possible. So let's see exactly what we can get from the Dolphins, which I'm not going to lie, they really don't have much. Like, would you give me Chris Bell in a potential 2nd-round pick? Like, this would be pretty nice, which the trade is declined. About Chris Bell in a 3rd and a 4th, trade declined again. But what if I go ahead and make that a 5 for 4 swap? Trade is, oh, that's gross. We'll throw in a 7 as well. But with that, boys, we bring in a new number 3 receiver alongside a 3rd and 4th round draft pick, which does mean, my friends, to free up a little bit more cash since we now have Chris Bell, who's younger than Trey Tucker. We are going to trade away Trey Tucker for hopefully something half decent. We could trade for superstar X Factor Willie Gay, which is just kind of funny. It's just like at this point, I just don't know if it's like just draft picks of the move. There's a team like the Broncos that wants them but can't afford them. Same thing with the Chiefs. Gosh, annoying. This literally the only 2 teams that even want them. What about Jahdae Barron straight up? We give him a contract extension and have a good long-term cornerback. I can't even afford that. I mean, would the Browns also be willing to give me a 2nd round pick? No. Or why don't we make it a 2nd round pick from 2030? Wait, why did that go down? Why are they less likely to give me a 2nd round pick from next year versus this year? That's stupid. I mean, we're not going to re-sign Darius Alexander, so maybe we throw him in there to see this deal through. Trade still declined. We did have to throw in a 6 to make the Browns say yeah, but I feel like it's a good trade, which means already with the stacked roster, we have ourselves 3 2nd round picks and 2 3rds, which we do need to sign some depth at this point. Bring in Chuba Hubbard. Also need deep tackle, so I guess I'll just, ooh, a 23-year-old Caden McDonald's just sitting there. What in the world? I mean, he's a normal depth player, but my God, dude, I feel like this is a massive pickup. Again, just trying to bring in as much good depth as humanly possible, which I suppose to replace Trey Tucker, we go ahead and bring in Calvin Austin here. Now, before we go any further, just like as an experiment, I want to see what we can trade him for now. He's already up to an 80 rated as a backup. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, as of right now, I mean, we're getting offered a good player like Braden Fisk, Rico Dowdle, but I feel like, again, you give him 2 or 3 more years to develop. By the time his contract's up, I swear to you, we should be able to get ourselves an all-pro, which you might actually end up having to start for us, you know, if we can't lock down Jackson Dart long-term, which we're gonna try again the following week, which of course we got another massive dub, which is never good, you know, to have to try and renegotiate a contract right after your quarterback won player of the week. Okay, his overall stayed the same. That's good enough for me, which again, I don't want to up his offer too much. Jackson, please just accept it. Oh my, just come on, dude. Which if worst comes to worst, I'll just franchise tag him, but that just wouldn't be good. That's just kicking the can down the road. It'll end up probably costing me more in the long run. So I suppose we try again next week, which of course got another massive dub, improving now to 9-1 in the season. And like I told you guys, 16-1 at this point is a real possibility. Suppose we up the offer just a little bit more, and there it is. Thank God the anxiety is reduced. Jackson Dart is going to be our starting quarterback for more than likely the rest of this rebuild, which I totally forgot to check defensively. Okay, Abdul Carter, 16 sacks already just through 10 games on the season. Abdul Carter, dude, he could hit 20, maybe 25 sacks this year, which surely could win him Defensive Player of the Year, right? But at this point in time, boys, in week 11, we currently have the 1 seed by 2 games. So surely we're not going to choke away our first round bye of the day away here, right? Okay, we lost a couple more games. Boo-hoo. Still got the first round bye. Who did we lose to, though? I'm interested. We lost to the Steelers that last week, and then lost to the Eagles, of course. We just never beat the Eagles twice in a season. Ooh, got beat out for best offense, too. Who had the best offense this year? The Bengals, of course. Freaking Joe Burrow throws for 8,000 yards a season, which is what makes it hard to win MVP sometimes. Now, defensively, do we improve from last year's 21st finish? We came invisible. All right, we had the second best defense in the National Football League next to the Titans. Not bad at all. Okay, Jackson Dart, what a year, brother. Like, it's going to be hard to beat out Joe Burrow with the Bengals having the best offense, but still, 4,000 yards and 45 touchdowns is phenomenal. Now, what did he do on the ground? Okay, his teammate had a really good season. Goodness gracious, Scatterboo. Almost 2,000 yards and 17 touchdowns. Now, I do want to say Jackson Dart with his 6 rushing touchdowns, that might have been enough. You know what's gross is Cam Scatterboo probably won't even get top 10 votes. We'll have to see. I'm actually excited to see where these 45 passing touchdowns went to. I'm assuming a bunch went to Malik Neighbors. Yes, they did, of course. 19 touchdowns to Malik Neighbors. Not as good as last year, but that's going to be impossible to top. Still, 108 grabs, 1,300 yards. Carnell Tate, 1,000 yards once again. Good year from Chris Bell coming over in that midseason trade. Elias Williams only started for half the year, had 327 yards, 4 touchdowns, and Scatterboo had 6 touchdowns through the air. So I'm telling you, like, he should get top 10 MVP votes, but he won't because it's a dumb game. But most importantly for me, defensive stats. Oh, there it is, boys. Abdul Carter, you sexy human being. 25 sacks on the season. Surely had to win him Defensive Player of the Year, right? Dexter Lawrence had 12. And Trey Hendrickson filling in for Brian Burns. Not bad. 11 and a half. And a good year for Mateo as well. In his second season, didn't really get much playing time, but in the playing time that he did get, put up 5.5 sacks. So we do want to see his overalls up to 82. He's a superstar. So hopefully by the time he does really step in a starting role next season, he can put up 10, 15 sacks. All right, big news for today's challenge, boys. MVP this season is going to be Joe Burrow. Oh, it just makes me so mad. Jackson Dart put up 51 touchdowns, but in this franchise, Joe Burrow just throws the ball so many times. All I gotta see, man, how did Joe Burrow beat out freaking 51 touchdowns this season? He ended up putting up 5,700 yards and 47 touchdowns. So he wins the award, although he had less touchdowns scored. I guess because he threw for freaking 1,600 yards. That's depressing. But what about the other awards? Offensive Player of the Year goes to Cam Scatterboo. We had Malik Neighbors in second. I didn't even see. Did he not get an MVP vote? I didn't, man. What a rigged game. But since we've already had an Offensive Player of the Year today, most importantly to me, Defensive Player of the Year goes to none other than Abdul Carter. If somebody would have beat him out after putting up a 25-sack season, dude, I would have quit the video right there. Love to see it, boys, because yet again, that is another challenge completed. Now, what are the odds that we can win another Super Bowl? I think I'm gonna be crazy too, boys, and just sim straight to the big game. Simulate 3 straight weeks or 4 straight weeks right into the Super Bowl, and we gotta hope to God that when the simulation stops, our logo pops up. Oh, we did it again, boys, and unfortunately, my brain is going through an internal conflict right now. Both 1 seeds have made the Super Bowl, and for us to go back-to-back here, we've got to keep my Tennessee Titans from winning their first Super Bowl in franchise history. Oh, dude, you look at this, man. We got past the Rams by a singular pubic hair. 1 point. We, Drew Aller, by the way, outperformed Jackson Dart. Look at the main man, riding him right into the Super Bowl, which hopefully we can win our second in just 4 seasons. Wait, just out of, like, pure curiosity, I do want to see who my Titans have at this point. Please tell me Cam Moore's turning one of the best quarterbacks in football. Jeff Simmons, a monster. Cam Moore is good, dude. 95 rated superstar. Wandale, the former New York Giant, trying to get revenge for us letting us walk, getting a big contract elsewhere. He's up to a 93 overall. Big Brian O'Neill's a beast. Kevin Winston's turned into a stud. Oh, they got Kayvon Thibodeau, and he's turning into one of the best pass rushers in football. So right now, we actually have 2 former Giants, man, that probably want more than anything to beat their former team by $1 billion. And we're gonna do it by a single click of a button, boys. Can we take down my Tennessee Titans and break my internal fans' heart? I feel like we should. I feel like we got the better team. And boys, it was never a question. 28-12 Super Bowl champions, as we have accomplished what very few teams have done in history and have won ourselves a back-to-back Super Bowl. Starting to heat up, boys. Starting to heat up. Now, gotta see who balled out for us here. I apologize to all the Nashville faithful. I mean, we outgained them by 80 yards. Jackson Dart and Cam Moore both played phenomenal football, although we actually got to them 3 times. They didn't sack us once. Cam Scatterboo doing what Cam Scatterboo does best. Wandale Robinson led both teams in receiving, but good enough performances from Carnell Tate, Chris Bell, and Elias Williams to put up a big 28 spot. Which, like, at this point, what are the odds we can make it 3 in a row? Which, before we get too big of a head, I do want to see what things are looking like in terms of dev trade increases. Oh my God, thank the Lord I locked down these 3 fellas before this happened. If I would have had to give out 3 contract extensions to 3 new superstar X Factors, I would have had to pay literally over $1 billion. I really don't know if I'd have been able to afford them. So thank God, all at once, they became X Factor. That's how Malik Neighbors, I think he's been an X Factor, but these two. It just is really tricky because I really hope we can win in the Super Bowl next year because we're going to start to lose core members of this team like every year from this point. So I don't know how many players we're going to be able to afford. Like next season, for example, we're going to have to re-sign Abdul Carter, and I really don't know if we'll be able to afford it. Like him, Caleb Downs, half of the offensive line. It's going to be tough, boys, but that's just why it's important that we draft well, and it's important that we win more Super Bowls while we have this core together, which is crazy because somehow we still apparently have $44 million to spend. Ooh, not good. Caleb Downs, his 5th-year option we have to accept, which at least is not too bad for a safety, so he's locked in for a 5th year. Caden McDonald, probably not going to re-sign him. Trey Hendrickson, he's down to an 85 rated. I could maybe re-sign him, but I think we're going to go ahead and pass the torch to Mateo Ugalele. And again, not going to lose any sleep for not re-signing these guys, which will lead us into free agency, which again, I need to be smart how I spend money. If I spend money, it just needs to be 1-year extensions. I really don't know how we have $45 million, but I'm not asking question. Again, I wish I could just go ahead and lock down Abdul Carter right now. Okay. All right. What? How do I pass up on these three? Quinn Miners is crazy 98 rated. Amon-Ra St. Brown, but it's like, I don't need to do this. Like, I already have J.C. Latham, and he's asking for like $28 million. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, dude, he's asking for like half a Bitcoin per year. Oh, dude, I wish I had unlimited funds. I wish I had the cap space off, but I really think for the future of this franchise, unless I sign Quinn Miners on maybe like a 1-year deal, I don't feel like it's financially worth it. Jalen Hurts has made it to free agency, which is interesting. Dude, the Lions lost a lot, and like that's going to be us 1 year. I mean, they lost an 88, 87 rated defensive tackle and Amon-Ra St. Brown in the same offseason. That's just because you draft enough good players, develop them, and you just can't afford to re-sign them all. Would Quinn Miners be willing to come here for just a season, just 1 year? And like, I don't think it's gonna happen though. I mean, we're tied with the Titans and Dolphins. Up the money a little bit more. I don't think we're gonna be able to afford to make it a 5-star offer. So we're gonna have to just leave that offer there and hope that he decides to sign with us. Now, outside of that, I really don't know if anybody makes too much sense. I mean, Jahdae Barron wouldn't be a bad shout, which is an 84 overall. He's only asking for about $8 to $9 million per season. So I really don't mind giving him this offer, which there's a very, very, very good chance that we don't land either of these guys. If I just get one, I'll be happy. Come on, dude, we're going for a 3-peat. You better sign with me. We didn't get either of them. Which Amon-Ra St. Brown is still sitting there. Ooh, dude. Like, I'm not going to give him a long-term contract. That's just not happening. But I would love to sign him for a year. Him and Malik Neighbors in the same offense would be deadly. And again, unfortunately, we're just tied with everybody else. Dolphins already signed Miners and now going after Amon-Ra. So apparently they got like $200 million to spend. How funny would this be, though? Oh, he went to the Commanders. Gosh, dang it. Maybe Nick Bosa? I know, like I said, I was going to pass the torch to Mateo, but if I could sign Nick Bosa for a year, let him play instead, I mean, why not? Like, I feel like it's a waste just not spending the money we have. Dude, why are the Titans battling us for every single free agent? God, we missed out on him too, dude. Maybe sign Jalen Waddle to a 1-year deal, which apparently he has like 0 interest. What about Milton Williams here? Same thing, a 1-year contract. Okay, so maybe we can sign both of these guys to 1-year deals to help us out next year at least. Okay, and we did land Milton Williams. Jalen Waddle is still trying to decide. He's still trying to decide, which he finally signs, and we do land both Jalen Waddle and Milton Williams on 1-year contracts. But now it's draft time, boys, which is the first class of the day that doesn't involve a real-life prospect, so I think we're just going to have to try to get lucky and also use my high dumb hick IQ to evaluate and find some good talent. How's this going? Right tackle, which unfortunately, again, for the 2nd year in a row, which is actually a good thing, we're picking last in the first round, so that means we're back-to-back Super Bowl champions. And also keep in mind, we had like 15 second-round picks, so if I don't hit on a gem here, I have a chance here upcoming like 7 picks. There's a good safety here out of Georgia, Zach Brown. Definitely looks like the most athletic safety. He's the fastest. And keep in mind, we might not be able to re-sign Caleb Downs. And if it comes down to me having to decide whether or not I want to re-sign somebody at the premium position and Caleb Downs at free safety, I'll probably go with the player from the premium position. So if that's the case, I need somebody to replace Caleb Downs eventually. And Zach Brown, maybe the ideal candidate. Got A, man coverage. Everything else, it looks kind of mid. That combine and pro day, I don't feel like you can actually pass up on. So Zach Brown is going to be the pick. He's absolutely a top 20 player, I feel like, but he might just not be that top 10 player I was kind of hoping for. I mean, I'm not going to lie, he looks like DJ Khaled, so I don't really feel like that translates into a real talented safety, so I'm a little bit more scared now. I wish I could have seen that facial profile before he took the pick. But I don't know, man. Let's see how high overall DJ Khaled is. He's 20 in true value, got him at 32, so like, it's a good pick. Top 20 player, not top 10 or anything, but hidden dev, I feel like that's actually a really good value pick. There's 2 more picks to go for me personally, as I get to pick 6th and 11th in the second round. Now, I do need a long-term will linebacker replacement, and this Clint Shirley guy has a ton of freaking notes on him. He's 6'2". It's not the fastest in the world, but I think outside his power moves, his skills look really good. A-man coverage for a will linebacker is kind of interesting. So Clint is going to be the pick. Don't know. This is more like a need pick more than like I think he's the best player available. He's going to come in. Oh, God. I think that might be our worst pick so far. A will linebacker wearing 98 is crazy, by the way. Again, if I'd have known that beforehand, probably wouldn't have taken him. But as long as he comes in with hidden development, we should be fine. But hopefully, I can do a little bit better here myself with the 11th pick here in the second round, which after this, again, the CPUs can be taken over. Dude, look at that tight end that was just taken. My God. I definitely could use some more cornerback depth, and I just want to see who the fastest is. We have Zach Kidd coming in, 6'3" scheme fit. The one thing that I learned, boys, and I don't know what you want me to do about it. If you see right there under the player notes where it says shows good discipline and won't get flagged much, that means they have hidden development. I feel like I should have known about that beforehand, but I just found it out like a couple days ago. So, you know he's good. Zach Kidd is good, and he's 6'3" and runs a 4.3 40, which is just crazy. Actually, like, not that weak for a cornerback. He has really bad press, but A, hit power for a corner's nuts, A, catching, B, man coverage, A, tackling. So outside of press coverage, he seems like he's the best cornerback in the class, or at least out of the cornerbacks that are left anyway. So, I don't know. I do need some cornerback depth behind some of the guys that we have right now who probably have their contracts expiring like 2 or 3 years. So Zach's gonna be the pick. Again, like, he might be a first-round talent, but as long as he's like early second-round talent, I will be happy with it. Again, I look really happy, which is typically a really good sign. Zach looks happy too to be a Giant. Okay. I did not expect that at all. Top 5 in true value. Got him at 43. I'll tell you right now, the way he's standing, like, that is just not like a cornerback build. But hey, I guess the talent doesn't lie. My God, dude, 95 speed at 6'3". This is like a Tariq Woolen clone. I mean, I thought I had found myself a decent gem, but I didn't think a top 5 player. So with all the relatively good day 2 picks the CPU has at their disposal, can they finish this class off strong and maybe round out one of the best draft classes of all time? Oh my God, dude. Outside of this edge they drafted, Hugh Pleasant, definitely not a Pleasant pick, we got some freaking dogs. Zach Brown could be the long-term Caleb Downs replacement. Clint Shirley is good. Zach Kidd is an 80 overall cornerback that we got early second round. Like, what was he still doing there? Like, we don't really need tight end anymore, but we got Eric Saucedo, who at least is a good blocking tight end to come in on the goal line. Got a good backup, strong safety as well, dude. So, like, what a freaking draft class. I just want to know if it was like a stacked one, which off the get-go looks like it, as there was an 84 rated taken in the first round. I was just wondering, since we got such a good cornerback in the second round, yeah, it was stacked. There's multiple 80-plus rated players. Okay, that tight end that I saw a glimpse of earlier, he was 81 rated, so that's cool. But hey, I feel like we did a good job, boys. Good draft. But we now start our quest for a three-peat as a 92 overall team with a 95 offense and 89 defense. Like, I feel like the biggest question in this entire team, nothing to do with the offense. Like, we got to have the best overall offensive line in the league, best skill position players, and honestly, the most talented defense, too. The only question mark is how well Mateo Ugalele is going to play in his first year of full-time football. Also, like I said, probably need to get our first-round pick this last year to progress quite a bit, because he's probably going to have to end up replacing Caleb Downs. But again, boys, like, this team has got to be the Super Bowl favorites. So as always, we simulated the trade deadline. Probably not going to make too many trades. I just want to lock down some players with some contract negotiations. Okay, boys, so that three-peat might definitely be on. For the first time today, we have made it to the midway point of the season undefeated. I mean, some big wins too. For the first time today, we swept the Eagles this season. We destroyed the Cardinals, shut out the Seahawks, beat the Lions away from home, beat the Cowboys, and beat the Chiefs. So, dude, like, that's an extremely tough schedule where, yeah, it's a lot weaker second half of the season. We got some tough games in there, like the Bills, got the 49ers and Rams, but, like, there is a chance we finish the season 17-0. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm probably not gonna trade anybody away or trade for anybody, because obviously what we're doing is working. This is what scares me. Okay, actually not as scary as what I thought, because we have $80 million to work with. Now, unfortunately, gotta re-sign Abdul Carter, Carnell Tate, Charles Demings, Caleb Elarms, or Chris Bell, probably not gonna re-sign him. Zane Durant, probably not gonna re-sign him. Jalen Waddle, no. Oh, Overshown. He's been so good for us, but we did just sign a replacement will linebacker. So, like, main thing, boys, is we have got to somehow, someway, at bare minimum, lock down Abdul Carter, Carnell Tate, and hopefully Charles Demings. Like, you don't come across superstar cornerbacks too often. So, Abdul Carter first. Absolutely got to lock him down. He's asking for $40 million a season, god dang it. With that being the case, 5-year contract, Abdul. No questions about it. I wonder if I can even lower the money me just a little bit. He is on the fence. That's not good. Which if he did accept, that leaves us with $45 million. So like Cornell Tate's another one I do want to lock down, but it's like I don't feel like I'll be able to afford everybody. Now it's like, what do I do? Like Charles Dimmings, I do want to re-sign him. He's asking for $2 million a season. I mean, he could easily turn into our best cornerback. So let's see if he'll sign a 6-year contract. If so, I'm down with it. Let's go. Now Caleb Elarms Orr. What about you, brother? He's asking also for $2 million a season. We do have a Mike linebacker sitting behind him. Now the question is though, like if I lock him down, will I have enough to re-sign Cornell Tate? I don't think so, because he's legit asking for like $25 million a season, but I feel like I gotta let it rip. Let's do 6 years, actually. Bring the money down just a little bit, and he is going to accept, which leaves us officially with $9 million, which unfortunately, fellas, I feel like that means we're going to miss out just barely on re-signing this long-term middle linebacker. He's been so good for us too, but what we need to do from here, though, is advance to next week and just make sure we lock down Abdul Carter, because that is the one player that we can absolutely not afford to lose. After all of that, watch us end up losing to the Broncos here. Well, that's unfortunate. So the 17-0 dream is gone, but honestly don't care as long as we can lock down Abdul here. I'll up it just a little. Just please accept. Come on, dude. Just make your goddamn mind up. God, dude. I mean, even if we do lock him down, that is just so much talent that we're going to be losing out on. I guess we try again next week. Okay, we barely won at least, so we're now 9-1 of the season, and surely we're not going to lose to a 1-8 Commanders team, right? Now, this is just the base offer, and I'll up it just a little, and he is going to accept. Thank God. Now again, the unfortunate thing is I don't have enough money to re-sign any of these guys. Like Caleb would be the best because dude, he's 26 years old. He's a superstar. He'd probably get to like a 90. But now I absolutely don't have the money to re-sign him. Unless I did like a 7-year deal, I still don't have enough. Gosh. But that's the unfortunate thing, boys, about drafting so well. We are going to be losing so much talent, but we'll just have to lock in and hopefully draft well again these upcoming years. But for now, can we just please lock in and make sure we get the 1 seed again? I mean, I guess it's a good thing when you're actually internally disappointed that you went 14-3 and earned another first-round bye. Funny enough, dude, look at the Titans. Imagine we get ourselves a rematch. So I really thought we might go 16-1, but at the same time, man, 14-3 is not bad. The only sad thing is we just got absolutely demolished by the Cowboys. Okay, so we did actually lose to the 1-8 Commanders. I don't like that at all. And then we did absolutely get demolished by the Cowboys. But again, 14-3 first-round bye. Surely we have a realistic shot to make it our 3rd straight Super Bowl. So for the 2nd straight year, we did have the NFL's 2nd best offense, and then defensively, top 5, we take it. Jackson Dart, another great season, but unfortunately, you'll probably have somebody like Joe Burrow again throw for 7,000 yards, so he won't win MVP, but hey, he's MVP in my heart. Now, Cam Skattebo with a career-high 22 rushing touchdowns. I'm honestly going to be more sad when this guy retires than Jackson Dart. He's been such a freaking beast. I think he's already got to be the best running back in Giants history, right? Now, through the air, Malik Neighbors doing Malik Neighbors things, 1,400 yards, 21 touchdowns. Cornell Tate, glad we locked him down. Another good year from him. Jalen Waddle, good year in his only season as a Giant. That tight end too, Elias Williams, starting to put up some decent numbers, although he's not getting to the end zone too much. And look at the Sauce Man, only had 2 catches all year, but both of them were touchdowns. Now, how did Mateo Ugalele do his first year as a starter? Not bad. 11 sacks on the year, nothing to sniff at. A little disappointed in Abdul Carter, but again, that's a good thing when you're disappointed at somebody for only putting up 13.5 sacks. Now, Dexter Lawrence, I feel like he's got to be getting to the point where, he's 31 years old, so like he should still be decent for us for another 2 or 3 years. Let's see. NFL MVP this season goes to Joe Burrow. If Joe Burrow is the reason that we end up not completing today's challenge, I will be so mad. Jackson Dart for the 3rd seasons came in 2nd place. That's just so unfortunate. But yet again, we had ourselves an Offensive Player of the Year. Actually, it had 3 guys come in the top 4 of the voting. Then Defensive Player of the Year goes to Jared Verse. Let's see if we can do it again, boys, for the 3rd straight season and win our 3rd Super Bowl before 2030. All at once, sim straight to the Super Bowl, and I really hope I don't have to break my Titans' hearts again. Anybody but the Titans. We actually did it again, boys. We actually did it again for the 3rd straight season. But, like, don't get ahead of yourselves, because we're having to play the Broncos, and keep in mind, man, the Denver Broncos were the first team to beat us this season. So, I don't like that. But, boys, we are made for this moment. We have a chance now to become the first NFL team in history to win 3 consecutive Super Bowls, and, like, all these games haven't been close, man. Funny enough, same score twice in a row. Beat the Panthers by 2 touchdowns, beat the Vikings by 2 touchdowns, and now all we had to do is just screw 2 touchdowns. I just want to beat the Broncos by a point. Speaking of, I wanted to look at the roster. Pat Surtain is a beast still. I mean, they got a lot of OG Broncos still around. Like, Zachariah Branch is probably the best player they drafted. Jalen Ramsey, a 34-year-old's over there. They got a good tight end to throw to. But, like, kudos to them, man. A lot of their OGs have stuck around and have finally brought their team to a Super Bowl. But too bad, we're going to have to break their hearts as we, when speaking into existence, are going to win big 38-28. And boys, we've officially made NFL history by winning 3 Super Bowls in a row. And I'm scared, man, because again, we're gonna have to find a way to win another one in every single season from this point on. I'm telling you right now, we're gonna lose some of our OGs. Oh, that sucks too. That sucks so bad. That middle linebacker that we're not gonna be able to afford to re-sign, he's an X factor now. So we're gonna be losing players like him, Caleb Downs in the future probably. We're gonna have a new will linebacker coming in. It's just like, will we be able to keep up and keep drafting well to replace these players that we can't afford anymore, and hopefully can still keep enough core around to win at least just one more. I mean, ideally we win more than that. We're already at the point where I have to accept Mateo's 5th-year option. I might not even be able to re-sign him. We are going to accept it though. God, just so much talent, man. So much freaking talent we're gonna have to let walk. Which is a warning, boys. Like, since we have no money at all, okay, well, like, where did that come from? That $24 million I'd have loved to have just to re-sign some of my guys a second ago. I was gonna say it was more than likely gonna be an uneventful free agency, but now I genuinely don't know where that money came from. We might be able to re-sign a few players. Okay, Joe Burrow is no longer a Bengal, so maybe now it's time for Jackson Dart to win MVP. But like, let's see if somehow, some way we can spend that money to lock down Caleb long term. I mean, he's really not asking for any more than what he was initially, so maybe just a 4-year deal. Oh, the Cardinals are gonna outbid us, aren't they? It's like, this is just not the time to be getting in a bidding war, dude. Still haven't matched the Cardinals offer. I hate it. I hate it all. I really cannot be paying a middle linebacker $14 million a season, which we still haven't tied their offer. I'm gonna have to let them walk. So it's like, what do I actually do with my money here? Maybe sign somebody else. Jake Golday. He's a really good player out of Cincinnati in real life. He's gonna still cost about $10 million a season. I mean, at this point, man, I should probably just draft a replacement or let Elijah Hardy step in. I mean, maybe I can bring back DeMarvion on a 1-year deal. He's not asking for much. I know I did draft his replacement, but I gotta spend this money somehow. I mean, I really don't even know who else to sign. Like, maybe another defensive tackle on a 1-year deal. I can't afford Kobe Turner. Absolutely not. No chance. Can't afford Milton Williams either. I mean, maybe I can sign this guy in just a 1-year contract, just spend the money somehow. All right, let's hopefully just land one of these guys, which only one has decided, and DeMarvion's coming back. I don't know why he wouldn't. I mean, we're on a freaking 3 Super Bowl winning streak. Jake is also gonna sign. Joe Burrow going to the Saints is kind of crazy, to be honest with you. J-Mo going to the Steelers. Well, I'm telling you guys right now, this one's gonna hurt, but sometimes you just have to make tough decisions as GM. But losing some of our most important players every season from now on makes it even that much more vital that we draft well here. And for the 3rd straight year, picking last here in the 2030 draft, and really have no idea at all what to do. I mean, we could use another middle linebacker in Demetrius Peppers here. What a name, by the way. 4.39 40-yard dash at his pro day from the Mike linebacker position. Dude, he's literally one of the most athletic middle linebackers I've ever seen in Madden 26. I mean, he could be a freaking wide receiver, dude. His catching is an A. Everything else is a B. Dude, 6'3", 240, running sub 4.4 is insane. Demetrius Peppers, welcome to New York. He's going to come in 12th in true value. I knew this guy was going to be a stud. He has hidden development as well. 91 speed, 92 excel at 240 is insane. I feel like there's absolutely zero chance I can follow that up here, dude. Like, I feel like everything now is going to be a disappointment. I think I found a good lineman here, boys. Trent Jones out of Oregon State. Not the biggest guy in the world, not the strongest either, but his ratings look great, dude. Worst thing on his board is what? Pass block power? But here at the end of the 2nd round, there's not much talent here, and you always can use some offensive line depth. Probably can move him all across O-line if we need him to. Come on, give me good news here. Again, I'm excited. He's going to come in 71 in true value. Got him at 64. Has hidden dev, but honestly, one of our worst picks yet, unfortunately. Which, this is going to be the latest I've drafted in a long, long time. Last pick in the 3rd round. I just feel like there's absolutely zero chance to get anybody good here, which might actually be the perfect time to look for a defensive tackle. If nobody else stands out, this Kerry Carroll guy looks good. What a name, by the way. Kerry Carroll. Love it. Has a bunch of C's, does have hidden dev. The fastest, one of the strongest. I might just rip it right here and take him. I'm doing it. Casey Carroll, please don't suck. Comes in 48 in true value. Got him at 96. Also comes in hidden development. 80 speed at D tackle is kind of nasty, Mr. Kerry Carroll. I feel like it was a solid, like maybe 7.5 out of 10 draft for me, but now all comes down to the CPU, who, kind of put up a stinker. Got a garbage receiver who's probably going to get cut. Another good D tackle, and Ted Tennant, the left tackle, who's also probably going to get cut. What a weird draft. Kerry Carroll and Ted Tennant. But at least at bare minimum, this fella right here should be the middle linebacker of the future for the New York Giants. Like, this guy, this might be one of my favorite prospects, honestly, of the entire day. Now, what are the odds, fellas, that this year's squad can take it one step further and win 4 Super Bowls in a row? I mean, my God. I mean, we got 99 Jackson Dart, 99 Malik Neighbors, 96 Cam Scattaboo, who, honest to God, he is 28 years old, so he still has a realistic chance to get up to 99 himself. I mean, our lowest rated offensive lineman's an 87, dude. That tight end is already higher rated than what Isaiah Likely ever was. Now up to a 92 overall team with a 96 offense and 89 defense. Again, I really do hope that we can win the Super Bowl this year, because I'm telling you right now, we'll probably be losing Caleb Downs and some other stars this upcoming offseason. Just now realizing all 3 of our corners are superstars. I feel like that's got to be some sort of record. Well, here goes nothing, boys. Let's see if this year's New York Giants squad can go out and make NFL history. Okay, very unusual here, boys, as I just definitely didn't expect to get to week 8 and the Panthers have a better record than us. Don't like that at all. We lost to the Commanders and Vikings, dude. Just absolute garbage. At least the offense is still rolling. I'm assuming it's the defense's fault. Oh my God. This has got to be Jackson Dart's MVP season, right? I mean, I feel like he's due, man. Now, on the ground, Scattaboo still having a great year. Link Neighbors, decent season for his standards. Why aren't we doing anything defensively? I mean, Abdul Carter almost is in the double digits already. It's like, man, Mateo Ugalele is doing absolutely nothing. Now, time for my least favorite part of the season. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh my God, dude. We have $14 million in available cap room, and we are going to lose Caleb Downs, Kelvin Banks, J.C. Latham, Deontay Banks, James Smith, Trades Green, and Fuaga all in the same offseason. I just legitimately cannot afford to replace them. Oh, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I legitimately am not going to be able to offer one of these guys. Like, even J.C. Latham, he costs too much. I mean, maybe what I can do at the end of the season is franchise tag at least one of these offensive linemen, but outside of that, dude, we're kind of screwed. Also, I'm wondering if what I should do is go ahead and trade away some of these guys. Like, I think mainly Caleb Downs, there's just no chance I'm going to be able to re-sign him, but we already prepared for this, drafted a free safety earlier. So it definitely is going to hurt our Super Bowl chances this year, but for like the future of this franchise, I feel like we need to get something for him in return while we can. And I feel like we are going to get a huge offer, you know, like maybe Luther Burden. Okay, this offensive lineman from the Cardinals might actually be perfect. We can offer Jonathan Taylor, Nick Herbig, Jordan Davis, AJ Terrell, Brian Thomas. Will Campbell would be interesting, but I don't feel like I can afford his contract. What about the Cardinals here? I feel like this one is the most intriguing. Okay, Charles does have 2 years left on his contract, so I feel like this might be the best bet because we for sure would have a premier superstar offensive lineman for the next 2 years. I wonder though if we can turn this into a better pick. Like, what are the odds you give me Charles and a second round selection? Okay. I might have been able to get a first, so that's a little depressing. There it is. The Arizona Cardinals get themselves the best free safeties in football. We bring in a premier offensive lineman that should hopefully help us out for the next couple seasons, and a 2031 second round pick. But it's like, who else out of these guys do I trade away since I'm not going to be able to afford them all? I mean, I guess since I just got a guard, we can trade away Fuaga. Trades Green, he's going to be shipped on too. And I guess at Mike linebacker, since I did draft Peppers, I can go ahead and get rid of Jacob. I'm assuming I should be able to get a pretty good offer in return, and again, ideally for somebody that can start for us long term. Maybe Dylan Fairchild from the Bengals. I mean, he has 3 years left in his contract, so he'd definitely start for us for a while. Hold on, like, surely I could get at least a little bit more out of this. First round pick, not close. About a second round pick, that's a little closer. Now, what if I actually tried to get that first round selection, throw in the 2 we just got from the Cardinals? I mean, it's getting up there, but do I actually throw in more? Maybe a second rounder from like 3 years down the line in 2033, still decline. So I think we'll just have to go with their second round pick. There it is, boys. I did have to throw in some mid-round picks to make this happen, but 3 players on expiring contracts. We get ourselves a long-term starter along the offensive line and a second round pick. And then after that, it really comes down to like, who do I want to franchise tag? Like Kelvin Banks, J.C. Latham. I mean, like, should I trade away this quarterback, Ty Pennington? I mean, 75 rated. I feel like he should be able to give me something half decent in return before he just walks for free. Wait, hold on a second. Am I the only one that notices something rather unusual here? Okay, apparently nobody wants him. And I guess Deontay Banks is like our number 4 cornerback now. So he's on an expiring contract. You got the 2 guys locked in for a little bit longer. I mean, I'm not asking for much, just like a first-round pick or something. We're close with the Broncos here, even closer with the Panthers. I mean, dang, dude, I might as well go ahead and get rid of James Smith too. It's like I'm just trying to be smart with my finances. I don't know if I really just screwed up our chances at winning the Super Bowl this year, but I think it's like the smart moves I'm making for the future. That should help out this trade a lot, though. Honestly, not really as much as what I thought. Oh, we're so close. We are so close to the current 10th pick in the draft. We are going to be strengthening the Jacksonville Jags. We're going to find a way to make this happen. Throwing a 6 and a 7. Didn't do it on purpose. It wasn't enough anyway. But maybe an extra 7th round pick from 2033. And that's just like, what even is that? Got a 6th in from 2032. We are now the proud owners of an extra 2031 first round pick. I mean, more players I didn't want to have to trade away, man, but sometimes business is business. And somehow that made my cap situation worse for next year. Like, what in the world? I don't know how that happens. Everybody traded away is on expiring contract, but I do need to sign some depth, though. We can bring Tyrone Tracy back. We're gonna bring in Will Howard to be our 3rd string quarterback. We absolutely need defensive tackle depth. Why does the NFL hate Caden McDonald? Why is he shunned? I mean, he's a 25-year-old defensive tackle, 80 overall. I don't mind if I do. Welcome back. Also, just going to sign the best cornerback available to add to that room, so let's welcome Jalen Watson. Now, we do need one more player. Let's bring in Rashawn Gary. Why not? And I don't feel like we hurt the team overall too much, man. I mean, we're still a 92 overall. The offensive line still looks great. At least some of the guys we brought in are able to stick around a little bit longer than just 1 year. Now, defensively, I mean, I feel like we look the same. Okay, apparently that middle linebacker that we drafted is a superstar X factor. You best believe I am not complaining. A little worried about free safety, though. Losing Caleb Downs for the first time in 5 seasons, but Zachary, this is exactly why I drafted you, brother. You might look like DJ Khaled, but you're out there on that field playing like Troy Polamalu. All right, let's see it, boys. Let's see the damage. Can we at least beat the Panthers? No, that's not good. Not a good start. So after that, we're just go ahead and simulate the playoffs. Hopefully, at this point, we just don't completely miss out. Imagine we go from winning 3 consecutive Super Bowls to just missing the playoffs completely. That would probably be like the biggest downfall in sports history. Wait a second. Does that say 41-0? After we left off, we only lost 1 more game to the Rams. Finished the season on a 7-game winning streak. Not gonna lie, pretty surprised. I mean, I think that sets up well, boys. Can we actually do it? Can we win a 4th consecutive Super Bowl here? And the main question is, did we finally have an MVP? Offense finished number 1 in the NFL. Love to see that. Defensively, did we improve? We did, all the way up to 6. I don't know if that's good enough for MVP, though, boys. Jackson Dart, 4,200 yards, 38 touchdowns, 7 picks. On the ground, he did have 5 touchdowns, but I still don't know. Whoever the Bengals quarterback is probably threw for 6,000 yards again. Now, Cam Scatterboo. That's the first time in a while he didn't average over 6 yards per carry, but I can't complain, dude. That's phenomenal. I want to actually see, is Cam Scatterboo the number 1 rusher in Giants history at this point? He's got only 9,000 yards, 87 touchdowns. I mean, he's got to be up there. The all-time Giants rushing touchdown leader. Still got a little ways to go to pass Tiki Barber in yards, though. But look at Malik Neighbors, though. I mean, that's just like 6 seasons into his career, maybe 7 seasons now, and he's the all-time leading receiver in Giants history. Speaking of Malik Neighbors, led the team, 1,391 yards, 8 touchdowns. We actually had Donovan Alugbode lead the team, 11 touchdowns. Interesting. And defensively, Abdul Carter, another big season. Dexter Lawrence, big season. We need Mateo Ugalele to lock the frick in, though, if I'm going to pay him the big bucks like he's asking for. And look at Mr. Peppers here. 136 total tackles, 3.5 sacks. Like, that's got to be good enough to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, right? Let's see. By some miracle, did Jackson Dart win MVP? No, he didn't. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. What is that? Like the 5th time he's came in 2nd place? Cam Scatterboo, though, wins Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Aiden Hutchinson. Oh, man, he got robbed. Freaking Tyson Mooney won. But here we have it, boys. Can we do it again? We still have 4 more seasons after this, but what are the odds, boys, that we can actually do this 4 seasons in a row? I really don't know if I've ever won 4 seasons in a row in a rebuild ever in my life. So let's lock in here, boys. Try to get it done. We're going to advance all the way straight to the Super Bowl since it's worked well enough the last couple seasons. Oh, come on, dude. The suspense is real. We did make the Super Bowl. You saw it live, boys. That's insane. That is actually insane. And all we have to do now is beat the Browns, and we have won our 4th Super Bowl. It was 6 or 7 years. It wasn't too easy either, boys. We got past the Vikings by 2 points. Got past the Rams by a touchdown. Makes me feel good, though, because they beat us in the regular season. Now all we have to do is take down the Cleveland Browns, keep them from winning their first ever Super Bowl. And did we play the Browns in the regular season? I don't think we did. I actually love it. In the playoffs, we've beaten 2 teams that beat us in the regular season. season. Oh, wait, we did play the Browns. I'm blind. Acting like Helen Keller over here. We beat them away from home by 11 week 14. So surely, dude, we're going to be able to handle the Browns and Dante Moore in the Super Bowl, right? Are we going to play spoiler for a second time today and keep another NFL franchise from winning their first ever Super Bowl? We already took down my Titans. Now are we going to take down the Browns? And I'm not going to lie to you guys. Like, they got a good team, but I feel like ours is a lot better. And you best believe old Trey Tucker is going to be looking for revenge here, but we should be able to take him, right? I'm telling you, boys, this is a big historic moment in my channel's history. I legitimately believe we have never won 4 Super Bowls in a row ever, but we have a chance right here to do something that has never been done, and all that stands in our way is the Cleveland Browns. Now keep in mind too, if we do end up winning this Super Bowl, we haven't completed the challenge yet, but a win right here, my friends, would take us one step closer. All that's left to do, my friends, is to click a button and react to a very, very fast simulation here, which hopefully will blow them out. 7-0 early. Come on, let's pitch a shutout. Let's pitch a shutout here. I mean, we're well on our way. 14-0. Come on, lock in, boys. 21-0. They score, but as long as we hold on, it was never a question, boys. 24-7. We have just submitted this franchise in the NFL history books as the first team ever, maybe even in professional sports, to win 4 consecutive championships. And honestly, it made it look easy. So you best believe I'm soaking in this historic moment. But Jackson, brother, please lock in. We need you to win an MVP. Now, surely after making history there, we deserve an extra X factor. I definitely don't like the fact that it now says we're negative $23 million over the cap. That's scary. But unfortunately, it looks like pretty much everything looks the same. How about defensively? We gained Abdul Carter's X factor. About freaking time. Now, this is where crazy magical things can happen behind the scenes from the front office. I'm going to simulate the next week and hope to God, my friends, that somehow that salary cap works itself out. For all I know, it might get worse. Okay, say the same. That's not good. That's just never good. I really don't know how that happened. I just traded away a bunch of players on 1-year contracts. But anyways, what we need to do here is probably next season we need to go ahead and trade away this quarterback, because I'm telling you, let me just see right now. I can't actually trade him away because we don't have the money to bring in anybody. Nah, there's just no way this is all I'm getting offered. Like, I just refuse to believe the best offer for an 85 overall, 24-year-old potential franchise quarterback is Charles Myers. We'll cross that bridge once we get there. I probably will not pick up this 5th-year option because I'm not paying a backup quarterback almost $60 million. But what I will do is try and franchise tag either Kelvin Banks or J.C. Latham. I don't think I can, actually. I'm actually upset about that. I'm just now thinking about it. I can't do it. I can't franchise tag them because what you have to do, the workaround, you have to make the offer. Even if you just offer them for like $500K, your cap space has got to be positive. But since we start like $20 million in the negative, I can't even send them an offer. I can't even send them a free offer. So we are unfortunately going to be losing both Kelvin Banks and J.C. Latham to free agency at the same exact time. I hate it. But again, boys, that's the price you pay sometimes for making good moves as the GM. You can't re-sign everybody. Now, that's what makes me mad. How did we just randomly gain over $40 million in cap space? Now, says we have an available $26 million. That would have been nice, you know, when I was trying to re-sign J.C. Latham and Kelvin Banks. But, like, what do I even really need, though? Because what I can do is Charles, I know he can play tackle. He's 6'6", 328. So I'm actually going to convert him over to right tackle. And, like, I think our offensive line should be set in stone, boys. And defensively, I don't even feel like we really have a big need. I just don't feel like there's any point in like giving out big cash in free agency when we don't really have any big positions that we need. I just need to focus on drafting good young players. It is kind of depressing though. We went from having 3 superstar corners a year ago to 0. How do we win a Super Bowl and lose 3 superstars? That's kind of depressing. Like, who's even a free agent at this point? Is it even worth looking at? Okay, Caleb Downs is there. So we got a big deal in return for him. And for whatever reason, didn't re-sign him. Now, the funny thing is I can actually afford him now. Should I do that? If I try bringing him back, maybe try to bring Kelvin Banks back, which I can barely afford him. Our offensive line's fine, so I don't really have to worry about that too much. I mean, honestly, I just think it would be really, really funny is if we did go out and bring back Caleb Downs, because we absolutely can afford it. I don't know how. I don't know where that money came from, but I'm asking questions. Give him a 4-year deal. That would be amazing. If he doesn't decide to come back, I would kind of feel some type of way too, you know, if the team that drafted me traded me away because they didn't want to have to pay me the big bucks and they immediately won a Super Bowl without me. But at the same time, man, business is business. Let's give him a good offer. Okay, we currently have the #1 offer on Caleb Downs, and he goes to the Panthers. Wait, the Panthers just went out and spent like $100 million on safeties, because I was gonna go after Dylan next. That's unfortunate. But I just like bring in somebody on a 1-year deal or something. Let's see if we can sign Matt Abuike. There it is, locked in. Now, after free agency, I don't even know where I draft at. Oh my God, I have the 2nd pick in the draft. I guess whoever it was I traded with got their 1st round pick. They had a really, really bad second half of the season. Oh my God. not. Now, I'm wondering if, like, I'm so loaded, dude, if, like, the move is to actually just trade back. Like, how much of a power move would that to be such a loaded franchise that already is just stacked across the board, and then he just accumulates more first-round picks, so he trades down from 2. So let's see the Cincinnati Bengals with the first pick in the 2031 draft. They select Bradley Jennings at edge rusher. Now, what offers am I actually getting to trade down here? The Bengals themselves, they just offer me 2 firsts, a third, 2 seconds, and a 4th. I don't want to trade past 10, though, because I still want to try to get a top 10 pick. And god dang, dude, the Patriots are offering me 3 first-round picks in 2 seconds. Like, I just feel like that's really hard to pass up on there. Lions also offer me 3 first-round picks. That's insane. Okay, the Falcons here is interesting. Trading back to pick 14, so 12 picks, but you get an extra first, 2 seconds, and 2 7ths. That actually might be the move, boys. Hopefully, I'm not making a big mistake here, but we are moving down 12 spots to pick up an extra first, 2 extra seconds, 2 extra 7ths, and let's see what in the world we can do with the boys. Who do the Falcons want so bad? They did all that for a guy named Bobby Robbins. All right, so what can we actually land here with the 14th pick? I'm kind of thinking wide receiver, but I don't know if any of them are good enough. Okay, this guy actually stands out a lot. Enrique Perrine. He had a rather mid-combine, good in some drills, but mainly it's these skills, man. That catching traffic, the deep route running. I wish I did have him more scouted, but he's a scheme fit and by far probably looks like the most talented wide receiver to me on the board. I think I'm going to do it, boys. I think I'm going to do it. Enrique Perrine, welcome to the New York Giants. To make up a receiver room, Malik Neighbors, Carnell Tate, and hopefully you add some decent value to it. 2 in true value. I didn't expect that, to be honest with you. I thought he was good, but not that good. I gotta take that in for a second. Hidden development, 92 speed, 95 acceleration. Hands made of glue, apparently. It's like, how do I follow that up? It's like no chance I can get somebody that good at the last pick of the first round. I might honestly just go Sam linebacker since they're so rare, and this guy looks like a beast. 27 reps to 225. Although Clarence Divins looks freaking good too, but the problem, see where it says lacks discipline? That means he's normal dev. So I think just based off of that, I'm gonna go with the other option. He should at least come in hidden dev. I don't know how good he actually is gonna be. He's 34 in true value, got him at 32. Smart, heady defender with decent speed, dependable tackler. Hidden dev, I mean, he's okay. Again, I probably wouldn't have picked him if I knew his number was 91 at strong side linebacker, but I guess we'll just have to deal with it now. All right, so not bad so far. Oh, I about skipped my pick accidentally. For some reason, I have the first pick in the second round. I wasn't ready for this. I don't even know who to take. Should I try and find a running back to eventually replace Cam Scatterboo? Because he's coming up on 30. So maybe find somebody that can develop, and by the time Scatterboo retires, at least maybe be in like the mid-80s overall. So I'm not gonna lie, nobody looks too insane, so I don't know if I'm making a mistake just forcing the pick here. But I think my best bet is Juan Creighton here. He's a scheme fit. And I'll be honest with you, I don't really feel like a guy named Juan Creighton is gonna make for a really good NFL running back. That just does not feel like a running back named Juan Creighton. Just, I don't know, sometimes you see a name and you just know the guy's not gonna be good. He looks all right though. He's only 5'8", but I mean, not bad, I guess. But I think he's worth a shot, I suppose, as the first pick in the second round. He's got B break tackle, B carrying, B spin move, C juke move. I've definitely seen a lot worse, especially from the other options at running back. So I'm not expecting much. Maybe like a fringe second round talent, and Juan Creighton is going to come in. Okay. It's always like the ones you don't expect. Has hidden development as well. I mean, I don't know what to say. That was like totally a lucky pick. I thought he was going to be like extremely mid, but apparently not. Sorry for doubting you, Juan. So I have plenty of more picks here in the second round and the rest of this draft, but unfortunately for me, I don't get to control it. Let's hope to God the CPU doesn't screw things up here, because they put together a good draft themselves. This could set us up for years to come and maybe some more Super Bowls. All right, here we have it. Moment of truth. Enrique Perrine was a 79 rated. That Sam linebacker was a 75. That running back was a 77. I'd never in a million years, dude. I didn't even think he looked that good. George Trevino from the CPU. I mean, like a 71 rated will linebacker. He'll be a good depth. Decent edge rusher at the end of the second round. I mean, nothing phenomenal. Last 3 picks were actually garbage, but at the end of the day, dude, I feel like, again, that's a good 9 out of 10 draft. Wait, why is Cam Little a free agent? Dude, he's a 92 rated superstar kicker, dude. Lock him in. And Quinton Williams. Like, what's happening here? Oh, I can't afford him though. But fellas, I think it is finally time we get rid of this guy before his value goes down anymore. 85 rated 24-year-old quarterback. I mean, like, it'd be dumb for teams not to take a chance on him. And I'm really hoping we get some better offers than what we got in the last season. I think it just was a weird time of the year. Chris Bell, we can get him back. Bucky Irving is an interesting one. Okay, like we're talking now. First round pick for him. I might actually, like, it might be worth it just to take a lot of draft picks. Rasheed Rice? Ooh, dude. It's like, do I just like go with draft picks, man? Because again, it's like all these big players that we potentially trade for, we're not going to be able to afford them if we do re-sign them. And if we do re-sign them, we won't be able to afford somebody else. So it's like, pick your poison. It's like the smart thing to do, I think, here, just to be to trade for a bunch of picks. So like, who actually gave me the best offer? Like maybe the Cardinals, maybe the Colts. I mean, it's like we don't really need a cornerback, dude. Like we probably just need draft picks. Like, is there a team out there that desperately needs quarterback that would be willing to give me 3 future first-round picks for an up-and-coming franchise quarterback? If the Seahawks need a quarterback, would you be willing to give me your first-round pick for the next 3 years? We're not going to be able to afford them. That's so stupid, dude. Work your freaking cap situation out, man. You get your goddamn franchise quarterback on the line here. And I guess maybe I just give them to the Colts. Would you be willing to give me your next 3 first? You know what? Just for the heck of it, like throw in a 2032 second as well. Lock it in, boys. Okay. Didn't really expect that to happen. Really didn't expect them to accept this. But at the same time, the Colts did trade away 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. So is 3 first-round picks in a second that much of an ask for a franchise quarterback? Like, for all we know, the Colts end up beating us in the Super Bowl. But fellas, you best believe I have put my blood, sweat, and tears into building this team. I feel like we've done a pretty decent job building up a 93 overall squad with a 97 offense and 89 defense. If you gave me more money to spend, if I had more cap space, we'd have a 99 rated team right now. We've had to make some tough decisions, but I still feel like we have a really good spine of a team. But I think I have personally done all that I possibly can. Especially when you consider I've set the team up with like 15 first-round picks the next 3 years. So what we are going to do from here, boys, is simulate to our 10th and final season and see if at that point we can win any more Super Bowls. And most importantly for me and my bank account, see if somebody, Jackson Dart specifically, can win an MVP. So the incredible news here, boys, is that in 2035, we've ended the regular season with a 15-2 record. I think that's the best record we've had this entire rebuild. Still looks like, though, we are dealing with a terrible cap situation. And wait a second, it looks like without me, the CPU did a better job because they apparently built our first ever 99 overall offense. Now, keep in mind, this is a decade from where we started, so I do want to see how much the team is still put together. So Jackson Dart's still here. Okay, so Creighton turned out to be a beast. Really glad I did draft this guy because Cam Scatterboo apparently is gone. This guy steps in 95 overall. Not a real 99 yet, but he'll get there. The entire receiver core stuck around, but this guy right here, thank God we drafted him. Enrique Pirine, 96 overall, just like that running back is. What has he done the last few years? I mean, he's put up some incredible numbers after apparently not playing at all his rookie season, which is just strange. Okay, I will say pretty much the entire offensive line is new. Charles is still here, but outside of that, it looks like at least the CPU's drafted pretty well. Oh, and the tight end too, man. The tight end too. Elias Williams was kind of like a mistake of a draft pick, but my God, dude, what a beast he's turned into. Like, am I tripping? Is that DeMarcus Lawrence? Now, defensively, Peppers is stuck around, although he's no longer an X factor. Abdul Carter, 99 rated still. Okay, our replacement of free safeties up to a 91 rated. Not too bad as our Caleb Downs replacement. Now, I will say the cornerback room looks completely different. Dexter Lawrence is gone. Mateo Ugalele is gone, but the defense, I mean, it still looks good. Now, we still have the number 1 offense. I want to see Jackson Dart. I mean, that's good numbers, but like, I don't know if he's good enough to win MVP. Did he win MVP? No, he didn't. Goes to Jaden Daniels. I'm telling you, dude, if we won extra Super Bowls, end up winning like 5 or 6 Super Bowls out of 10 seasons and failed the challenge because Jackson Dart came in second place in the MVP 15 times, I'm gonna be pissed. But I do want to look at some of the record books real quick, as we actually had Abdul Carter become the all-time NFL sack leader today, which is just insane. About in terms of just Giants history, though, we have Jackson Dart has become the all-time passing touchdown leader, surpassing Eli Manning, which he hasn't done yet in terms of passing yards. Cam Scatterboo, as predicted, boys, became the all-time leading rusher in Giants history, and Malik Neighbors broke every single receiving record, and Abdul Carter somehow, someway, becoming a better pass rusher than Lawrence Taylor and Michael Strahan. 10 years into the future, so he's got to be in his early to mid-30s, but Malik Neighbors, man, still leading the NFL in receiving yards. So let's see, fellas, with another first-round bye, can the boys win at least a 5th Super Bowl? Again, I have no idea what's happened in the last 4 years. So for all I know, we've won 5 more. For all I know, we haven't even made the playoffs again. That's so funny. That is, you just literally saw, he's did it again. Like, this genuinely might be the best rebuild I've ever completed completed in my life, dude. We go out, beat the 7 seed Lions by 22 points, get past the 6 seed Commanders. All we gotta do now is take down the 1 seed Ravens, and that at bare minimum is Super Bowl number 5. It'd be really sad if we end up leaving things off with a Super Bowl loss, because we have yet to lose a Super Bowl up to this point, unless something like that happened in the last 4 years. But let's see, dude. If we win this Super Bowl right here, right now, that officially means at bare minimum, we have won a Super Bowl every 2 seasons in the span of a decade. There's just no way we end things off with a Super Bowl loss, right? There's just no chance. I'm telling you, dude, this is legendary. This is literally channel history right here, man. I'm actually so excited to see what we have done the last 5 years. But my God, 5 Super Bowls on its own is historic. But let's see if we can take it a step further, boys. Over $200 worth of Madden 27 copies on the line, and we just need Jackson Dart as a 15-time Super Bowl champion just to win a single MVP. All right. In 2031. Keep in mind, at this point in time, we'd won 4 straight Super Bowls. Can we make it 5? This is crazy. This is actually crazy, dude. Oh, and I conflicted again. Conflicted. Because we take down my Tennessee Titans, keeping them from winning their first ever Super Bowl. So, we've already made it an extra 6 years in the future, 7 years in the future at this point. My Titans still a Super Bowl list after 2 more attempts. So, dude, that's 6 Super Bowls at bare minimum. This is 5 Super Bowls in a row here. Let's see. Can we make it 6 Super Bowls in a row? I don't even know what to say, dude. So that's actually twice now. We've kept the Browns from winning their first ever Super Bowl, and twice we've kept the Titans from winning their first ever Super Bowl. That's insane. 6 Super Bowls in a row is the craziest thing I've ever seen. And what really sucks, though, more than anything, I kind of got caught up in the moment there. In 2031, NFL MVP goes to Josh Allen. In 2032, NFL MVP goes to Bo Nix. So we've legitimately just won 6 Super Bowls in a row. We have a total of 7 in 10 years. We might have more to come. But we still at this point are failing the challenge because Jackson Dart can't do anything but win a Super Bowl MVP. Still got 2 more years to go, though, boys. Like, I'm getting to the point where the math is like getting too big for my head. So we have won 4, 5, 6 Super Bowls in a row. Can we make it 7? In 2033, the streak is over. And poor Cleveland Browns. Poor Cleveland Browns. That is the 2nd time in 2 years they are denied of their first ever Super Bowl by a single point. And the unfortunate thing again, boys, the unfortunate thing, this year's NFL MVP is John Mateer. Oh my God. Oh my God. We legitimately have 1 final year to complete this challenge after winning a bare minimum of 7 Super Bowls. I'm gonna be so mad. I'm gonna be so mad. But it all comes down to this, boys. It legitimately all comes down to this. In 2034, do we officially complete the challenge? This would be one of the worst failures of all time. It really would be. 2034, Chargers win the Super Bowl. Oh my God. That is the most clutch NFL MVP award of my freaking life. So with that, fellas, I think it is safe to say we can claim the best ever 10-year run in NFL history. We vastly exceeded expectations, not just winning 4 Super Bowls, but winning 3 extra. And with this 2034 NFL MVP, by the skins of our shaft, yet again, complete today's challenge. So soak it in, fellas. Take it in. Breathe it in. Because you will never see a rebuild quite like this ever again. This might be my peak, unfortunately. Now, if you're dying for another 10-year rebuild, you can click right here to watch me rebuild the Raiders for a decade.